I'ma be real. It's been a long week. It's been a hot, like, long week. Okay. So I worked Saturday. Don't know why. They just take so much energy. Don't yawn, you'll make me yawn. Too bad, I yawned anyway. You're gonna have to deal... Where's my hands? Hands. You're gonna have to deal with my yawn. The hand pointing is always, like, off. I wonder if I... Is it, like, no longer beneficial to try and do, like, hand thingamadiggies with... What if I tilt this up just a little bit? That way it's, like... You know... Nah, I need it to be, like, here. There we go. But yeah, I don't know why. It's just felt like a long week. Also, is my mic... Yeah. Adjust... Uh-oh. There. Oh, no. There. And then tighten this. There we go. Hi there, Alvirus. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing all right. I am the sleepies. Like, cause one, technically on call as well. So like if someone rings the technical support line, I'm going to have to answer that shit and get paid for that. You doing your best? That's the important part. Yeah, so long as you're, you know, yeah, so long as you're doing your best. I thought I'd have like something better to say to go along with it, but I didn't. Man, is Saturdays just gonna be the go-to, like, day where your Zeebs is just gonna have these, like, moments of just thinking too hard? Oh. There we go. They're just gonna have these moments of, like, thinking too hard, and then their mind is just sort of, like, you know, going... Shh. Like, they just can't think of anything else. They're just sort of, like... Shh. Hang on a second. There's something I need to add. Because I wanted to do this as like a funny main. Actually, no, hang on. What I'll do is can I copy, paste a duplicate? There we go. So this one will be the dink. Sorry, give me a minute. Rename. Main stage background. I had a funny idea just popped into my head that I am going to do now. Browse. So, because I've normally kept like the cosmic zebra as my background, but I realized, happy time zones to you, Zapper. I realized I can do like a lot more fun things than just, you know, have like the cosmic zebra, because people give me gift art and shit. So quite frankly, you know, I can include other things that would be funny, such as my latest gifted art, thanks to Kusaki Desu. Look at this fucking himbo. By the by, he drew it on a black background as well. That's why you can't see the stripes. It's just fucking amazing is what it is. Is he streaming right now? Yeah, he's still streaming. He's doing like the go-kart game or something like that. That just looks fun. The go-kart looks fun to like run on stream alongside all these like intro fighters and such. But oh my goodness. Brain, wake up. You know, try to do things. Blech. Nope, it's not waking up. But yeah, so hang on, back to the chat room. So display that shit at the Louvre? Absolutely. I want to create, I had it like a while ago. I wonder, do I still have the scene here somewhere? Hang on. No, I don't have the scene here, but I was going to create a scene or something like that where it would be like a wall of art or like an exhibition of all the gifted all the gifted art or some of the stuff I've commissioned in the past would go. And I would do like a clever thing where there would be a new piece of art that would be set in like the center frame or something like that, when it was like something, either something brand new or, reintroducing the complement your persona redeem. But I've not thought of putting that complement the persona redeem back on for a long time, just because like I just kept getting the same person. And I'm just sort of like, the point was to try and like get other kinds of personas in there and having a checkout on them rather than, same user. There's so many things I want to do, but like there's no time in the day after work to do them. How do people do this? How do people do like the full-time job and do the content creation stuff? And don't say they like stop their full-time job to do the content creation stuff, because that's just not, that can't work in my little what's-a-mahoozy thing. There's very little like, positive in me like just quitting my full-time job in order to do this. I am not making the same amount of money in this content creation as I am with my full-time job, and it's probably going to take like a good 5 years or some weird ass explosion going off in my stream, like I don't know, fucking Sea-Dog VA or one of those like big ass streamers being like, oh hey, a fucking himbo zebra, the fuck is this about? So how are things going? I knew Code was in here earlier. I hope they're... Are they in the, Are they busy? Are they doing a night shift as well? Also, I want to get into that fight. I want to see if I can take out Alvirus with the power of gun. Let's see, do I come in with a weapon? No, I do not come in with a weapon. I just come in with my fists. Not tonight? You're not working tonight? Excellent. Good to hear. So... I had to work Saturday. I kind of want my Saturdays back, to be honest with you. I was fine with not working Saturdays for a time. Do a little hunting while watching me. Ah, yes, the Monster Hunter stuff. I know you tried getting me into Monster Hunter like a while ago. I think I've played it maybe one more time since then. I don't know why. Like, the Monster Hunter thing does not get me... It didn't get me as well as, like, Destiny or Final Fantasy, where someone's being like, oh, hey, try this out. And then, it just becomes my personality for, like, the rest of the year or something like that. So, but I feel like you're the reason why I went through Kingdom Hearts. There was something, I feel like that you were talking on your stream or something like that, or you found out that there was, like, the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer or something like that. And I'd never played any of the Kingdom Hearts, and there was like doing a catch up or something. I think you somehow got me onto Kingdom Hearts somehow. Hopefully I didn't like steal an idea from you, like, cuz I know you were going through like the Dragon Age series, but think of how much you loved it. What, Kingdom Hearts? Look, as much as I like shit on Kingdom Hearts and how you can skip like half the stuff and still get 95% of the story because of the exposition dumps in the Act 3, it's still a fun game, quite frankly. Here's the thing, is that Kingdom Hearts Remake wouldn't exactly benefit from, whatever, like, if you try to get Kingdom Hearts 1 and bringing into, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 sort of mechanics, it's like, they wouldn't work as well. Because while, sure, having a mechanical improvement of 1 to 3 is nice, it's unfortunately not enough of a mechanical improvement to validate, going through the Kingdom Hearts story again. Because most people would like to think, that, oh, maybe the Kingdom Hearts... 1, 2, like back when it was first being made, I can't remember the name of the director or what have you, like they concocted it in a fashion for Kingdom Hearts 2 where, the ending was kind of not open-ended as in, oh, anything could happen at the end. It was ambiguous, where it could either have a continuation or it would end there, and it would just be like, them going on with their lives or something like that. So it could have done that. Lol, Code's winning right now. Not too many peeps in the Not too many peeps in the intro fighters. Well, congratulations, Code. I need to stop this program, actually, because there is... I know I said I was going to play Final Fantasy XIV tonight, but I learned that there's an entirely different game that has gotten out of alpha. This is one of those weird ones where I was just sort of like, you know what? It's like, as much as I am going to like shit on it because of like, you know, the Dark Souls Escape from Tarkov stuff, it's got me hooked. It's got me hooked. I've actually like want to try and get better at it or some shit. It's dark and darker. I've updated the stream info because I'm doing that. Also, why is it not doing the thing? It's back. It's back. The alpha test. So the alpha test is coming out via torrent. You have to go to like their Iron Mace to get the game. Actually, why am I not getting a capture any full screen application? Like, there we go. All right. Wait, do I have to make an account on like... I just made up an account just then. Please save your recovery key below in a safe space. This is the only way to recover an account if you forget your path. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, because they don't have... Because normally Steam would have been like helping them with the account management and shit. But obviously they can't. So they've had to come up with their own login system. You thought it was getting taken down? So here's the short of it. Half the developers that were working on a project similar to this in Nexon decided to leave because the game got butchered and turned into a shooter of some sort. Those guys started making Dark and Darker. While the idea is not new, and you could argue the idea might have come from Nexon, they didn't use Nexon code, they didn't use Nexon assets or anything like that. But they are getting in. But Nexon is saying no. You can't use this tech. You can't make this game and such. And so the giant South Korean company decided to block them and do a copyright infringement thingy-majiggy on the game. Which, Iron Mace, the company that is making this game, Dark and Darker, clapped back really hard. They pointed out that none of the code is being used. That is from Nexon is being used here, and any of the arguments for assets and shit are either made in-house or it's coming from like the Epic Games item shop or something like that, where it's basically like this repository of assets and what have you that is intended to be used by developers and such like that. So, Iron Mace is much more strongly in the right in being able to make this game than Nexon is in arguing that, this game is an infringement on copyright and such. The part that Nexon is trying to get in the South Korean courts in their favor on is the fact that, this whole, the dungeon crawling, escape from Tarkov medieval idea came from Nexon first, and that Nexon should be the only ones to make the Dark and Darker game, which is not fair. You can't retain ideas. Half the point of copyright is the execution of the idea, not the idea itself. And what's more is if they wanted to try and fight on those grounds, 8 years back, someone made this kind of game in Chivalry or some shit. So there's just going to be this very fun time where, Iron Mace is having to go through the courts to try and get this game not being pointed out as being a, what's-a-mahoozy, try and prove it's not a copyright infringement. Meanwhile, hang on a second, I need to add another password. So this is the recovery key. Sorry, I'm just like Dark and Darker. Save. There we go. All right, now I've saved the key. And we now have to start from scratch. Also, I can probably stop this music, and... Is there really no sound to this game? Where the fuck is the sound? Fighter, Barbarian, Rogue, Ranger, Wizard, Cleric, Bard. Weapon of choice is the Rapier. It's got crowd control. That's good swordsman, but they're loud. A or B. Alright, I'm gonna stick to Fighter. Hi there, Masonic. Oh, there is sound. It's just really effing quiet. Like... Terrible. Absolutely, like... How... I thought they would have sound. Alright, crouching. Yep, cool. R and Q. VoIP is the comma. Oh, wait, hang on. VoIP, send. Voice over IP is B. And then period is to... Okay, cool. Alright. Enter the lobby. Yep, still the same thingy-madiggy. And we've got Goblin Caves, where it's solo adventures. I like that there's a map now, which is interesting. Item drops are similar to a normal dungeon. And then we got the ruins of a forgotten castle. Alright, we're gonna try the Goblin... Ow! We're gonna try the Goblin Caves first. Is there... Yeah, training... Alright, is there anything new here? Well, I got... Alright, hang on a second. Sprint. Second wind. What I want... Oh, that's new. The next offensive completely blocks any attack. Increases the aggro. Increases your attack by 25 seconds after the duration. Duration ends... Alright. Gonna swap to that. When the reaches below 15, they become flooded with adrenaline and gain 15%. Ow. And then, yep, there's nothing in my stash. Alright, so a lot of it feels the same. Did you check your loadout? Yes, I have nothing in my loadout, so... Ow. So yeah, this thing, like... I think they dropped this alpha, like... Oh, what is with this sensitivity? Hang on a second. 1.5. Much better. Alright, so X is to fists.
If we get renewed interest in playing the game, we can also confirm that they've been making progress on the game and they have been working on it because there are changes to it.
This is interesting hearing the proximity chat. Because you couldn't hear it, I think, before when doing the doing it via the what's-mahoozy, previous game at least. Wah. Alright, God damn it, I pressed E instead of the... Hang on. Alright, give me a sec. Oh, this is...
It's a little loud.
Yep. Give me a minute. I'm fighting for my life. The special effects is way too loud. Alright. Options, audio, total volume, let's go 50. Let's just go with a flat 50 and drop the effects by 65. There we go. Apply those changes. Ow. Fucking arrow. Dead. Well, return to lobby. Sound is improved. They just made the sound extra loud, however, in that moment there. Start again. It's weird that it had that, like, you know, laggy-ass moment. Alright, let's see. Is there a dog? There was a dog in these, games previously. Oh, what the... The dog better not be, like, a thing from the... Wait, I think I heard it. Has anyone seen the dog? Yeah. Feels like there's some weird, like, moments where it's just stuttering and then doing a rubber band on me. Portal close as soon as someone passes through it. Sometimes it's better to let an enemy open a portal and steal it. Ah, so they're still going with that technique. Cool. Once again, I'm pressing E instead of F. And once again, pressing E instead of F. Alright, lightning. I do not have the skills to mine. There we go. Code, you should get this. It's in a torrent, unfortunately, so you might not, like... 23 minus 20. Nope. Also, where's the map? Oh, the map's in the bottom right. Cool. Oh, come on. Peace?
Yeah, I can do peace.
Oh, bad spot. Well, he's probably thinking I'm useless as F. Return to lobby. I keep pressing E to open doors and things. But I can't be bothered changing the mouse. I can't be bothered changing the, like, the key binding and such like that. Because I'm going to have this moment of, like, you know, looking and trying to figure out, like, oh, what's the new button then for abilities if it's no longer E? Because, like, R is for reloading and all that kind of classic stuff. So what am I going to make, you know... Because... maybe... Well, if I go F... Maybe FG is how I should do abilities, actually. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to make FG, the options for, thingy. Think. Donk. Why is the game... Is the game frozen? Am I still here to you, chat? I better still be here. It'd be really unfortunate if I wasn't. Be very unfortunate. Dunk. Donk. Donk. Ding. Dark and darker.
Only the game seems to be frozen.
Alright, maybe I should just, like, you know, force quit the game. That's a shame. Normally, the game is a little bit... oh, wait, no, it did have crashes. I do remember. It did have the crashes, like, once in a while. But those were normally, like, after an hour of playing, normally. Mm. Also, I can close this. Classic CPU at 100%. Still no update yet on when I'm gonna get the new CPU yet. Hopefully I didn't, like, type in my password incorrectly the first time, and now I don't remember it. Is still in progress. Would you like to... You will lose all items. No, because I died. Enter the lobby as my level 1 fighter. Start the goblin. It makes sense to do the goblin thingamajiggies first to try and get, like, you know, white and blue... Or, sorry, white and green rarity sort of items there. And then we go into the bigger dungeons, but... I'm gonna need allies. Come on, game. Really? Is there any other games? Is there anything else I can close to improve the quality of this stream? Because the game is like maybe 4% of the GPU. Maybe I can just turn off the hand motion thing. What happens if I turn off the hand motion? Because that's like 6% of my CPU.
Hello!
Hello, Jason! Nope, hand thingy-majiggy I think came back on, so that didn't make any difference, I don't think. Hello! Just a lot of glitches here and there. Huh. Hang on. Close that. Close that. What else can I close? I can close this. I can close this. Hey there, Danny. Welcome to the stream. Trying to figure out why this alpha doesn't want to play nice with me. Hi, bestest boy. My goodness. How many more? All right. You know what? I don't need Steam running. I don't need... Can I quit out of this? Hi, handsome. Yes, thank you. That is me. I am handsome. Alt F for that. All right. Where is my CPU going? Like 19, 20% of it is going into the OBS. And let's see. So one's into the profile. 2 of them are into some HTML pages, but it doesn't tell me which ones those are. This browser page is because of 3D nonsense, which doesn't help too much. Face tracking. Okay, Ultra Leap. Ding. Quit. Let's turn off the tracking. So now... Ah, Jesus!
Make us DJs with the 3-month tier 1 sub. Back for the himbo?
Thank you for the 3 months, DJs! Thank you so much! I'm sorry I don't have as high quality of a stream as Mudasaur does, as, you know, I can't use my hands right now because I'm troubleshooting why I can't play a particular alpha game. Don't worry, I'll try and get it working.
210. Wee. Oh,
Whee!
Jesus.
All right, let's try this. So I got rid of, like, the hand motion takes up like 10% of my CPU. So if hopefully that 10% will help out. How is it going, DJs? How are things? No hams? No hands. I didn't say hams, I said hands. Steamed hams. I had to try typing in my password like 3 times then. So yeah, so no, like, hand motion while playing this game. There's a match still in progress. No, just take me back to the lobby, please. I swear, if my fighter fails again... There we go. Cool. Did you check your loadout? Yes, I was dead. This region is currently unavailable. Why is that region currently unavailable? Is Singapore the next closest, or is Tokyo closer? You're working on a bonky boy build? Oh, hammer for the Monster Hunter, right? Hang on. I have a button. Let's see. How lucky would I be in doing a clip shout out on Code the Yoshi and getting an actual, like, Monster Hunter clip? Let's have a look. Roll the tape.
Explosive attacks like shells.
Hey, it's Monster Hunter.
wasn't reading everything properly. Oh.
Ah.
Right.
Mmm.
So if we can get one more artillery, we can make that really, really powerful.
Don't you mean one more artillery? I thought I was funny. I
will kill you.
No, I thought it was funny. Just and then just like artillery. Yeah, I thought it would be. I thought it was funny, and plus we lucked out. We actually got a clip when you were doing Monster Hunter. Now, next question: is it Tokyo or Singapore closer? Because Tokyo is in Japan. Singapore is just above Australia. It's like at somewhere along those islands, I think. Did I check my loadout? Yes. Let's pretend I did. All right, let's have a look. You must aim your shield to... Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thank you. And about to instantly... Oh, wow. This feels so smooth compared to all the other times I've gone into this game. Oh! Bestis boy, thank you for the coffee! I really appreciate that. I got paid by Twitch, actually. They say they paid me on Saturday, but there's no way any of the banks are going to pay me today. So it's not going to be for like till Monday or Tuesday that I get the Twitch pay. But thank you so much for the coffee donation. That goes into my PayPal. Thank you. Oh, come on. Hang on. Hang on. I know how to deal with a Megamic. Fuck. Yes, I see the mimic. Let me deal with the mimic in peace, please. There we go. Crossbow, sure. Peace. 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 Okay. Hopefully he didn't die. Alright, so the button 3 is what I want to give myself the bandages. Awesome. How's it... And... there. I'm gonna take the wild... Ow! Oh, trap, that's why. Oh, that was dumb. And then lantern, we're gonna put over to there. Alright, how accurate will this be? You do not have any ammo in your inventory. What? I need ammo? Oh my god, they have nerfed the ranger to a high degree. And poison got me. You're back? Sorry, phone call? Not to worry. I just learned that the crossbow, like, I was going to reload it, and they're like, oh, you don't have any arrows in your inventory. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't have any arrows in my inventory? That was not a thing. I don't remember needing arrows. Oh, cool. He's just having his little prayer. And then he's got, like, shitty clothes. Hello, Galander. I don't have my, my arms working, the leap motion, because I need to get CPU back. And the best way I can do that is by turning off some, like, redundant stuff. So, blep, it's Friday. Yay for Friday! Hang on, where am I? Yay for Friday. Well, technically it's Saturday for me, but I did have to work today, so it was very much like a Friday for me. So, yay, didn't... Ow. One moment, please. Something wants to kill me. Oh, hello. Whatever the fuck that is. Oh, they're arrows! Okay. Not great. Cookie for someone. I don't know why it's not doing the animation. Ah, Jesus!
Thank you, Bestest Boy, for the tier 1 gift sub to Sky.
Thank you. Thank you, Bestest Boy, again for the sub. Grant's hams are not in use today. Yes, they're not, unfortunately. I thought the cookie thing would still, like, you know, pop up. But I guess, like, it thinks my arms are in use right now, so that's why they're, you know, doing the thing. Man, that's gotta suck that you need arrows. Rapier requires a rogue, but I can at least sell that. What's in this guy? Ow. I can't defend myself anymore. Coin. Coin. Alright, what's G do? Oh, cool. I can... Oh! That's why there's, like, 2 different, like, hues on the bar. I can, like, you know, try and do this... I can do, like, the medium sort of healing. Because I'm, like, in the center. But then I can't do, like, the healing that's at the end, because that requires, like, probably something else. Alright, let's give this a try. Let's... Oop. Alrighty. Where's our... There's our guy. Why is it... Oh, because my mouse went... Yeah, this is gonna be death. My mouse decided to go... For some reason... Like, the mouse was able to leave from the top left corner. That was great. Alright, Alt-Tab. I need to double-check on someone. Where is... There's that. And then get to that. So he's doing his thing. Dink. Yep. Collect. Oh, Kasaki got... So that's how it worked. Alright. Still no level because, you know, I haven't been able to escape. One... Alright, am I in? Yes, I am in. Cool. Where is... I'll get better at this game. It'll just take a little bit of practice. Today, Zebra Warrior? Yes, today Zeebs is being a fighter in these, like, dark pits as he goes and fights the, Whatsamahoozy. If it stops. The goblins, that's it. Thank you, Brain, for, you know, not breaking then. Alrighty. So, you two are up here. Okay, would be great if you know, didn't... Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, come on. Alright, hang on. Let's see if I can somehow... Let's see if I can somehow survive this. Oh, it... Nope. Nope. Alright. Suddenly, this map just got... I do not remember the Goblin Caves being that hard. Alright, let's just go into the... Let's just go into the Forgotten Ruins and see what that is like. I have not survived one of these maps solo yet. 2,000 years later. Still waiting for that CPU. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 Bum. Bum, 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 bum. Still matchmaking, I see. Is it because it's gonna have me join in with randoms? Is that the reason why? Because if they've done that, that's gonna be impressive that they've, like, included... Nope. Oh, but there's now a camp rather than a tavern. Interesting. Chicken! Oh, doggo! Can I pet the doggo? Why can't I pet this? Why can't I pet that doggo? I can't do anything with the chickens or the doggos. What bullshit is this? And then... Can't climb up that ladder. It's a more interesting sort of... Thank you for the head pats, Masonic. It's a more interesting, like, lobby, quote-unquote, but I'm gonna be real. I don't know if that, you know, the changing of a lobby was that important. Like, it gives it a cooler atmosphere, sure. Making you think of, like, oh, you're, you know, just on the outskirts of, you know, the Forbidden Castle or whatever like that, instead of, you know, being in a tavern with a party and ready to go kind of stuff. Like, sure, this gives you, like, the more immediate vicinity feels, but I don't know if this was, like, especially given, like, how, like, big this place is of just nothing. Because that is what these taverns are. If you, like, this pre-game lobby area, the only reason these pre-game lobby areas exist is so then that way you're not... Another doggo! Can I... No, do not... Damn it, can I just... I want to pet you. Let me pet the fucking dog. Just... abilities kind of slow me down. What does this say? There are no engraved characters. What? The hell is an engraved character? Turn on torch. Cool. And then that's the rooster. 36 seconds, and we're going in with either 10 people or 18. What is the name of this game? Dark and Darker. It used to be on the... It used to be in Steam Early Access, but the South Korean company Nexon raised some complaints saying that because some of the developers from Iron Mace were ex-Nexon employees, that they stole assets to make this game, which is not true. Ew. The Iron Mace company has already, like, you know, shared to, like, the greater community of, like, you know, these are a list of the assets we're using, and a lot of them are either made in-house or they're from, you know, the Unreal Engine asset shop or something or rather. So it's all just coming down to, do the South Korean courts consider an idea enough of a copyright? Which, you know, would be really annoying. I very much do not like the idea that courts would consider a quote-unquote idea substantial enough for, Oh, this is an entirely different looking area. I'm, like, outside. Oh, come on. Ow. And I still haven't got the distance right. Alright, loot you. Yep. Grab you. Grab you. Grab you, grab you. Swap from the shitty arming sword to the good arming sword. Let's open the stone tab, see what it does. I'm still fighting Skeletor. Yes, I'm still fighting skeletons. 20, 30... Movement is minus 12. Magic resistance is minus 5. I'll go for the higher resistance. Ability potion. Alright, how effective is... Alright, that takes a lot fewer headshots to get it working, and I get myself some shoes. Awesome. Battle axe. No point to the straw hat. I don't know why the fucking, clarity potion. What does clarity do? Recharges all spells for 20 seconds over 4 seconds. Okay. Short sword, goblet. Oop. Doesn't like me trying to go that way. Oh, I've already opened this. Okay. One, two. Okay, so it takes me like 4 hits now to get rid of them with the normal, like, level. Oh, but I have places to go. Shit, how far am I gonna have to go? Oh, shit. No! Bad wolves. Bad wolves. Oh, shit. This is how I die. Yep, this is exactly how I die. I get corralled into a corner. So that's a lot bigger of a map, and I was not paying attention to the circle. Let's try this again. Plus, it's a little bit easier to see where I'm going in that area, so...
Hello!
Hello, Dazarus. Welcome to the stream. Yes. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. Welcome, welcome. Were you aware that the alpha was released like 12 or so hours ago, Dazzy? Hello, Darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Yeah, you're level 10. Oh, yeah, time zones. It's like probably like Friday midnight for you or something like that, and I've only just like gotten... Wait, what am I doing? I can use a sword. Alright, well the good news is that I'm within the cone. It's 4 a.m. for you. That would do it. Alright, kettle hat. Put that on quickly. Give myself some extra defense. Awesome. Alright, now let's check out this chest. So I like that they've made this like a little more open. Like how they've put us at like, you know, ground level, I suppose is what I would call this. So I'm curious if when we go to the lower level, if that's going to be the quote-unquote, like, level 1 then. So, be very curious to see. I didn't fart. Someone threw something at me that made a fart noise. There's a lot of chests in here. So now I have to, like, relearn this layout. Ancient scroll. Cool, so that will be for someone. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, that's a red one. He moves a lot faster than the others. How did I dodge that? Jesus, how did I dodge that? Bushes for my rogue to hide in. Yes, there is a lot of bushes. Ooh, that's actually a really good arming sword. Hang on. Swap that. I'll keep that in the shitty one. Put this helmet on instead. And then open this chest. So yeah, hopefully I don't get stabbed in the ass because of you, like, now mentioning that. Also, arrows are now a thing. You can no longer just have ranged weapons with infinite ammo. You must now, you know, collect arrows, which I feel like it might... Either the ranger has the ability to just you know, it has like maybe the perk of like, oh, you don't need to collect arrows. Maybe it has that, or I feel like the ranger is just absolutely fucked. Like, they saw how effective ranged combat was in a medieval, like, scenario, and they were like, right, we're gonna nerf you down to the nth degree. Oh, Jesus. 1, 2. 1, 2. Alright, so it's approximately 4 hits I need to try and do, and I need to not die so easily. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the amount of, Oh! Nope, 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 nope. I don't know if I can circle him, especially with the movement speed I've got. And I think he can see me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, okay, cool. That was a little bit easier to do. Oh, an escape portal has appeared already. Needies. I don't know how close I am to the escape portal, though. Die. I see where the escape portal is. Thank you for the follow.
Emotional damage.
Hi, Icy. You should play this game. All right, so there's the portal. Oh, come on. Peace, brother. Peace. You're gonna kill... Oh, 3 of you are gonna kill me, aren't you? Yep. Ah. Let's... I clicked on the thingy. I clicked on the VoIP thingy to shout, peace, peace, brother. And then I just see 3 of them and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I shouldn't have been greedy. I should have tried to get to the portal sooner. All right, exit to lobby. So yeah, hi. So okay, now I can see the name. Camel J Osborne. Camel J Osborne. Did you just get jumped by 3 naked people? It wasn't 3 naked people, but it was 3 armed guards or something crazy like, hey, don't do that, Code. Not when I can't use my arms right now. KJ, please. Awesome. I'll use KJ. I'd give you a thumbs up, but I can't use my, I can't use my arms right now. So, the best I can do is just, you know, this. Yes, I still have my... Thankfully, I still have, like, my pants. Here's your cookie. It's in my right hand.
Blue
I just can't give it to you.
Icy thinks you should do 20 squats.
Of course you do. Alrighty. I am going to do my squats. Hey. Blue, 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 blue. No, don't look at my chest. Go back to me. Back to me. You have a cake cam? I don't use the cake cam. It's not a redeem. Stop looking at my chest. Just for a quick moment. Please. There we go. Blue. You should get on that.
111. If I ever see them in real life, they are getting a spanking.
Hi there, Furry Cures. Hi there, everyone. Did no one get the notification until now? I gotta do my 20 squats. Give me a second. I can't use my arms either, so I'm just stuck with, you know, what it is. 1, 2,
Both of these nuts.
3, 4. You should download Dark and Darker. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a torrent, unfortunately. 10, 11, 12. 12. Thank you for the hyper himbo. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Blue. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty. AO? Yes, AO. I am given the hyper himbo. What's Slayer? Cannot equip plate, but gains 5 weapon damage when holding a weapon in each hand. Interesting. Reduce all. Apply to all non-native. Reduces the basic movement penalty.
Despoiox demands you drink.
Sippy time. You love the redeems? Thank you, Sashera. Can someone shout out like Dazaris and Sashera? I got distracted. What do you need? You need, so shouting out, yeah, so Dazaris, they're a cool streamer. They were just chatting. They do like good long form sort of streams. They're really great for it. I always miss out on them, however, because time zones and what have you. And Sashera is a most recent, like, it's not a kitsune. There's a phrase for it. There is an actual phrase for like the furry that's not like fully furry. But they've got the
Thank
shit.
you, Despoiox, for the tier 1 gift sub to Sashera.
Thank you, bestest boy. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the gifted sub again. So that was a gifted sub to Night Sky, and that was a gifted sub to Shashera. Congratulations! You don't have to deal with advertisement, and you get to deal with fun emotes, sorry, like these boys. Look at all these boys. Some of them are little potatoes, some of them are just, you know, cute little thingamajigs. One of them is Crumpin'. Make the titties fly. Everyone wants to make the titties fly. Alright, I'm gonna swap to the goblin map. I just need to, you know, I need to be careful. I just need to, when I'm done exporting, I'll join you if you want. Ooh, that would be appreciated. If you're in my Discord, I'll be able to also move you into, like, the GrantZeebs chatting thing. Because, like... Oh, wait, I'm not in Discord. Hang on a second. That was one of the programs I closed down, thinking I was... Hello. That was one of the programs I closed down, thinking I could, like, you know, get some CPU resources back in. It takes a lot of CPU to render you your Zeebs and the streaming.
Emotional damage.
Bone Masked Dog has added quote number 379. Everyone make the titties fly.
Yes, everyone make the titties fly. All right. So yeah, so I can go into like Zebra streaming, and then there's like a voice channel called like the streaming waiting room. Blue does this thing in their streams where, you know, they just allow like any random person to just come into their streams or something crazy like that. And they'll start spouting some crazy shit such as, oh, you need to play all of the Kingdom Hearts games. All right, so we got that guy who is bow and arrow. Those guys, that's sword. All right. Bum rush this goblin first so I don't have to deal with too many of his arrows. There we go. All right, goblin number 1 out of the way. Thank you for the longbow. It's not going to be useful for me. You don't allow everyone in. You started the mess. You may be correct. I'm sitting with Dazzy in stream right now, and he's literally chomping the bit going, I need to finish my work, but I also need to play Dark and Darker. What is he exporting? What are you working on?
317. Hi Bone, how is your 68 kilograms ass?
How is you's Bone? I do not have enough, like, brain in me to, like, do the proper thinkies while I'm trying to avoid getting poisoned by goblins. These guys play dirty. They play with poison. See? Look at that. They play with fucking poison. Alright, now I need to use this to try and counteract
Quote
the
370.
poison.
What a terrible hole.
He's exporting his VODs? Oh, okay, fair enough. If you have money, I know that's a controversial thing to, you know, check in on with peace be upon you. Okay, never mind. He's shooting arrows at me. Ow. Is he really gonna chase after me? You're just prepping for Furdu? Same here. I need to prep for Furdu at some point as well, but I have done no such thing. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to get my fursuit on a train down to the Gold Coast. I am still hopeful for the fact that the two hotels that are like basically exactly where Furdu are going to have an open room there or something like that, but they aren't. It ain't happening. Thinking of doing what you're doing currently more? I'm great. Hey, show the dog or you will get the spanking. Wait, what dog? What dog? Just get an IKEA bag? Ooh, actually, yeah, an IKEA bag would be cool. I have like a soft suitcase and a hard suitcase though. Like I was gonna use like, I think I was gonna use the soft suitcase for the fursuit and then the hard suitcase for the, for like the normal stuff I have to sit and listen to. He keeps opening the tab going, no, I need to finish working. Grant needs me. Closing the tab. And then he giggles. He goes and reopens the tab again right away. And it repeats. Hang on. Let me... Because... Dazarus, is he watching right now? And Sashara, you're watching right now, right? Check this shit out. Just doing a little sneaky, doing a fucking bamboozle. He can't watch me stream. He's gotta watch his he's gotta do his exporting and shit. Is he actually done, or is he just like tabbing in and out? I'll heal you in like 5 minutes. It will be soon. He's all right. Okay. I need to catch up on chat. Hang on a second. Where's my, where's the, there's that. Actually, you know what? I can close that entire tab.
Calm your rice paddy.
Calm your rice paddy. All right, how many messages have I been missing? All right, so her cute Neko. Neko is a kind of cat. All right, now I'm remembering some of the stuff. Like I was trying to figure out what you call the furry that's like not fully furry. It's like a kimonona something or rather, because that's what Sashara is, with like the whiskers and the tail and the ears, but they're still very much human. They're like 80% human. And then, yep, Dazarus had to do his exporting. Bone is saying they're great. They want to show the dog or I will get the spanking. What dog are you talking about? Have a fish? That's not a fish. That's a Vaporeon. Hey, Chad, did you know about the Vaporeon? No, we're not going to do that. That would be absolutely terrible. Neko Mimi. You don't have... But you do have a furry form, just not made yet. When? Sauce. You furry see some lewd out in the Twitters. Sauce. You gotta learn how to blender. Okay, fun fact. Delete the default cube each and every time. I did a blender tutorial a long time ago for Scribbly Doodle, telling him how to make a cube in Blender. Doesn't matter if you're trying to make a cube, a lightsaber, a full-on character, or any kind of movie.
Smash.
Don't bonk me. You're meant to bonk yourself. But yeah, so always delete the default cube. It is the easiest way that you'll get your start in Blender. If you have the confidence to delete the default cube, you'll be good. No, stop sending in the Vaporeon. Hang on, I gotta do due diligence stuff. Noted. Yes, delete the default cube. That one was for moi. More fleshies. That's okay. Is the intention. Alright, there, and then the, alright, here we go. Doesn't have jars for the Vaporeon. No, I do not have jars for the Vaporeon. Vaporeons are like the size of a medium-sized dog. Hang on a second. What is the size of a Vaporeon? Vaporeon size. Hang on a second. So the Vaporeon... Oh, look at that. Someone has made a convenient, like, chart. Give me, okay, granted, this Vaporeon is, like, a hyper-realistic Vaporeon, but hear me out. It is going to work. It is going to at least explain the process. It is at least going to explain to you peeps why a jar cannot work for a Vaporeon.
He does get the joke.
No, I don't want to hear it. Oh my god, there's so much weird Vaporeon shit. Alright. Look at the size of this fucking, like, cat dog thing. I don't know why they made the Vaporeon like a cat. I always thought of them, like, as a fox. That's not a face of a fox. That's like a cat. Look at the size of them. They're fucking huge. You ain't gonna put any kind of jar on them. Don't be like crying to me going, oh no, and doing the squinty look, Blue, you fucking evolution, you. The absolute degeneracy from Blue. Throwing tiny Vaporeons in my chat and being like, oh hey, put them in a jar. I still fly incognito. It's fantastic. Lol. Alrighty, let's do another Goblin Cave. Another! Hopefully this time around, I will survive. But yeah, Blue might say he's a fox. False. Absolutely false. They're an evolution. They're either the ice one or the... What's the one with the like... No, the ice one... You're a fox? Nah, you're an evolution.
Bone Dog has added quote number 380, don't squint at that, you evolution, you.
Evolution as in like evolution. It's like the two words together. It's smashed in. Glacian, thank you. So, because he's like a Glacian or some shit. Ooh, cool mask. And then there's like the alternative... What's the one with the... trans colors? That's like the... Is that the fairy type? Bonk. Bonk. Let me out! Let me the fuck out! It's not letting me out. Is this my only way out? Is this fucking... This is bullshit. I cross all my hooves that you survived this time, Mr. Zeebs. Thank you very much, Gallender. I didn't realize you're an equestrian. I don't know why. It hasn't cropped into my head. Did I just, like, forget?
Hello!
Hello, Hendrix. Thank you. Hi there, Hendrix. I am trying to get out. I can't get out. Stop taking my shirt, chat. I can't be dumb, right? Like, I have to break this thing down to get out, right? Why? This is stupid. How am I stuck here? You're not a queen, you're a giraffe? Ah, okay. Let me the fuck out. Let me out. Please. Oh. How the fuck did I do that? I don't know how I did it, but I ran, like, through it. Neat. Die, goblin. Oop. Not the arrow fuckers. And this is me dead. Most... What? What? Bone? What the fuck are you on about? What the fuck is that? That makes no sense. What the fuck? We're gonna try this again. Galander, you were wrong.
Nuts in my mouth now.
Hi there, Code. Welcome back. I'm trying to survive in the goblin caves, but it's not easy. I have yet to survive, and I got stuck for, like, 2 minutes behind a goddamn, like, planks of wood, and it... Somehow, the only reason I got out was because of glitching through them, I think. It was incredible. You a gay giraffe too? Oh, okay. I honestly did not know that. Damn it, don't have a pick for that. How am I supposed to... Okay. Let's not deal with that. Let's deal with you. Wait, do you just... Oh, that looked like I critted them or something. Ow. It looked like I critted them or something then. Alright, check you. Short sword? Sure, let's just grab you for the funsies of it. We'll sell you off or something. Stiletto? Sure, let's grab you. Next person on the chopping block. Dude with arrows. You. Damn it. You swear on your reputation as a primordial, 90% of giraffes are gay. Why, though? They're like, they're not like dolphins where they're rapey, right? Like, hang on. Gay giraffes. Are 90% of giraffes gay, or have their loving looks been misunderstood? Dawn Butler's claims regarding animal sexuality have been called offensive and homophobic by one of Jeremy Corbyn's advisors. But what's the scientific verdict? Wait, what? 90% of giraffes are gay. Dawn Butler, the shadow secretary for women and... Okay, hang on. You're telling me a politician is pushing that forward? Why? Let's just accept people for who they are and live as our true, authentic selves. Cool. Distinct. Instead, that the same sex in the world is not gay behavior at all, but a display of dominant. Lol. Okay, so two politicians had an argument on whether or not giraffes are gay or not. That we should accept people for they are. She is incorrect in her comment that giraffes are gay. They fake hump each other, which is also dominance behavior. Dogs do that as well, and when you see them necking, it's fighting. It's vicious. They can kill each other. It is probably a mistake to call any giraffes gay. Giraffes don't have a sexual orientation. Ah. This is who has told me like 10 times in that Resident Evil looks like a giraffe getting a blowjob. Fun fact, Sashera. Hang on a second. Oh wait, Resident Evil 6 logo. Sorry, I thought they were talking about Resident Evil 5. Cause some people were like, oh, I don't know how they can, you know, avoid like some of the racism or something rather, because there's like black people involved in Resident Evil 5 and it feels a little bit out of place. And then they have to show off that they purposely put the placing into Africa, and they were very much aware they were going to go with Africa, because on the box art for Resident Evil 5, like you have Chris Redfield and whoever the other woman is. I can't remember her name. I don't remember Resident Evil characters very well. Jill or Jenny or something like that. They're in the foreground. In the background, you have like the entire continent of Africa. It's crazy. Clipped? Oh, clipped. Yeah, no, like, it was two British politicians that were giving us the notion of, like, oh, the giraffes and such. And it's like, no, giraffes... I think it's one of those things where it's like... Hang on, let's read further. They do not... That's a human thing. Whatever their same-sex predilections, all giraffes have heterosex as well, or at least they try to, nor do they form couples of any kind. Adult females live among in herds and only mate with the transient male who manages to be dominant enough or surreptitious enough to visit them at the right time. Afterwards, the male leaves and takes no role in rearing any offspring. If most giraffes have any true authentic selves, in short, they would be bisexual. Aromantic, and as fathers, they set a bad example. You heard it here, folks. Giraffes apparently make bad fathers. Alright, we got beetles. We've got... How many of them have a... Oh, come on, you piece of... At least you're not hitting me... Ow. Nope, you've got poison in you as well. Fucking beetle. God fucking damn it. Does nothing want to, like, you know, just try and kill me the normal fucking way? You know, with just good old-fashioned steel? Why do I have to deal with the fucking... God fucking damn you. The dolphin thing. Oh yeah, no, dolphins are vicious. Dolphins aren't nice. Like, the only reason, like, we give dolphins, like, the cool, like, oh, aren't dolphins amazing and such, is because of, like, a lot of fucking Hollywood propaganda. So are otters? Oh yeah, otters are the, because here's the thing is, otters are technically predators as well. They don't have any, like, predator above them in their habitats and what have you. So they have no clue how to interact with people like us. They, like, present their babies or some shit. All right, we're back here. All right, so we got that goblin over there. Note to self, goblins are pieces of shit. All right, get the sword out. Ow. At least these guys don't give me poison. I don't know why the goblins get to give me poison. All right. You better have something good in you. Sapphire? Yep, sure. Fine. Where's the... Oh, there you are. Typically, goblins, I would have them neck attack. Oh yeah, just bash him in the neck. Alright, cool. Got them out of the way. Now I just need to somehow take on their shaman with little... Alright, cool. That gives me a little more movement. This will give me more. Oh, no, never mind. The goblin does not throw out fire. It just fucking poisons you now. At least that's, like, more in line to, you know, how the rest of the goblin faction is, rather than just, you know, throwing fire at me, but... Goodness gracious. Alright, T. And then, there we go. Clarity. A ruby. Alright, next bandage. King Tut was unburied with a bow. Wait. You can't get... How? Was that, like, just because of, like, a weird thingy-majiggy, like, rigor mortis set in his penis or some shit? Because it would be weird if that's not how bodies are meant to, like, die and what have you. Alright, hang on. Put that there so I can see where I am. And in case of any, enemies, there we go. Alright, open this thing real quick, see what's in here. Please don't kill me. Please. Stop. Clearly asking does not help. Thank you, DDD. Maybe I should just, like, in my last words, just shout out... Hit like and subscribe or something like that. Alright, I'm gonna swap back to the ruins, because that one I don't have to deal with, like, poison or anything like that, and it's easier to, like, navigate without throwing out a torch. Plus, I like this little atmosphere. But yeah. Yum. Alright. Dink. Dunk. Pet doggo. We can't pet either of the doggos, which I feel like is a real big problem in this game. Like, we had the doggos before. Why don't we now? Did most of them not just get a replacement for it? Not too sure what to think of that. Alright, so I'm here. Torch, thank you, so I can see where the F I am. Weird wisp things. Please no. Hopefully they're just on a set path and not, you know, after me. Okay. Please stop. Yep, they're wisps. Damn it, and those guys are gonna throw their, like, evil fart clouds at me. Come on, come on, come on. Just lurking, not to worry, Jason. I have to learn this all over again. Alright, loot you real quick. Hopefully there's something good. Nope, there isn't. There we go.
One masked dog thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alrighty then. Yunk. Yunk. Nope, 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 nope. Cloud, stay away from me. Leather leggings, you go in there. Drop you in there. Open you. Hi, Bone. Alright. Yep, portal is slowly moving. I am going to need to make a move on. Uh-huh. Okay, so I can just be, like, literally here. And then just go to the other side of this wall and I should be good. Awesome. I'm in some good armor this time around. Alright, check the zombie. Potion of healing, thank you. Alrighty, wall is a lot further than I would like. Uh-huh. God fucking damn it. Damn it! Alrighty, 20 squats. Here we go. Big stretch! Big stretch for the big boy! Alright. Here we go. God. I don't know why my right ass cheek still hurts. Like, I don't know why. It's not like I'm doing intense exercises. I am a lazy zebra right now. I haven't done any weird twists earlier or anything like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Also, I need to double check something. Nope, no one's in the stream waiting thingy-madiggy. Uh-huh. Ah! Excuse me. Excuse me. Alrighty, get that tab open. Start again. Grant? What? Where are you? I'm here to heal. Ah, Jesus. Exit to lobby. Yes. I am in my Discord. And I am currently in Singapore because something was going wrong with the Oceania server. So I'm now in the Southeast Asia server. Actually, I'll try the Oceania again. Oh, actually, no, you're in the US, aren't you? You're like US, like Oregon or Virginia or something. Can I call you directly? Ah! I'd prefer, like, just in the private, like, in the street, because, like, I manage the streaming channels and such, so if we, like, communicated in the Zebra streaming one, like, if need be, others could join, but they only are... Give me your Discord link there. Yeah, it's in the... I just posted it. I just did the command, ! Discord, and it gives you the link. At least I think it did. Hopefully it hasn't broken or anything like that. Hang on. Server settings. Damn it, I can't check my invites or anything like that. There should be a way... Hang on, invites. It won't give me my invite code. Weird. Wait, did it work? Hopefully it did. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I'll stay to Southeast Asia, Singapore. Coming soon. At least I can see, like, where I am in the level here. What does this give me? Increase AR armor rating from armor. I kind of need to go faster. I need to reduce the thingamadiggy I get. Dunk. Daisy. Ding. Wait, can I invite? Hang on, what happens if I... Noise suppression provided by something or rather. And then I can oh, I can just right click and invite people. Hold on a second. What the? Only selected members and roles can view this channel. What? Just let me invite them in there and then I'll move them in there. Oh wait, hang on. I can invite into the stream waiting room. Oh, because it's not... Why won't it... Hang on. Dun 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 dun. You just joined a thingamadiggy? Yes, I see. Yay, you're in the lobby. All right, I'm gonna move you into the... Zebra streaming channel, so it's just, you know, yous and me's. Hello.
I have you at 200% volume. 1 second. All right, talk one more time.
Hello. How am I now?
Fine. How goes Dark and Darker? I thought you hated the game.
Look, it's in the same sort of realm as Dark Souls and such for me, where it's like, I probably, you know, talk shit about it for quite a bit, but then I'm like, I'm gonna get into this again. I don't know why. There's something about this.
It's what I've noticed that I really also hi Grant's chat up right there. Is hi. It's the difficulty's kind of fun in a weird way, but it's also exploration, because like once you realize that these mobs spawn at these positions, you start like really learning the maps. You start getting really good at the maps, and it feels really good. Yeah, because like that's sort of half the appeal or half the learning curve with the with games such as Dark and Darker or Dark Souls is, you know, half of it is like learning the game. Yep. It's not like, you know, just sort of going into it with, you know, oh yeah, I can just button mash my nonsense like in Kingdom Hearts, and maybe if I want to be able to go through the super harder stuff, I'll, you know, actually, you know, I'll actually need to learn how to do like combos or something. Whereas in these games, it's like, no, you must know how these characters function, because otherwise you'll get stun locked, and that is part of the game. Yeah, that's the thing with Kingdom Hearts, which is why I love Kingdom Hearts, but it's also a pain in the ass, is every secret boss is like that. Which is why I was ready for it, but like, man, them fucking data fights suck. Let's be
I was not ready for it. When
Nobody
people were like
data fights, it's like, this is fun. this is enjoyable.
No.
No one.
No. And what's more is, like, I was going through the Remind DLC, and they're like, oh, my chat was like, you're gonna go through the something or rather, matches, aren't you? And I'm like, the what's-a-mahoozies? And they're like, oh yeah, it's just some extra bosses you have to take on at the end, and you get a cool, what's-a-mahoozy, like, end cutscene. And I'm like, oh, okay, I hope it's worth it. And then I'm like, I get through like 5 of them, and I'm ready to just like blast. I'm just ready to just not deal with this anymore. And I'm like, what's it worth? And they're like, an 8-minute cutscene. And I'm like, it can't be 8 minutes. It wasn't 8 minutes, and it wasn't worth. So how do I find you in the lobby? GrantZeebs. This is how you will always find me.
Found you.
Yay. There we are.
I'm going to die with you, Grant. Let's do it together.
Yes.
I actually have armor, though. copious amounts of booze and alcohol, because I went for the drunken cleric build.
Oh, there's a... Wait, a drunken cleric. Oh, because there's a... Where is he? There he is, Tavern Master. Lowers the movement speed, but increases the strength by a good
margin. Lower movement speed. It lowers it to hold it, not to drink it. That's once you drink it, it doesn't. It makes you drunk, but it gives you a huge amount of strength. Thing is, look how cheap it is. That's your green quality. Cleric has a perk that makes it so they do not get drunk.
Oh my goodness.
So you just go, like...
It is consumable, which I think is probably, like, it feels a bit expensive. Like, unless, how much is... Where is it? Surgeon.
The green is 7, so, like...
Yeah.
Like, let's say you take 3 with you, it's 21 gold. Or if you get the white quality, it's 3 gold. So it's 9 gold total. But you're gonna make more than that per run, hopefully. Hopefully at least make 9 gold every 10 runs.
Hopefully.
Anyway, I have not done the new ruins, so I'm going to die with you.
The ruins of Forgotten Castle. Have you just been going through the goblin, like...
Yes. And I've been winning non-stop. There's on the right side, there's a exit that's always there. If you camp it, and it's usually always in the infestation, and now that you can sit to restore your healing, I will literally just camp that area out, kill anyone who comes near me, and just heal myself through the plague until the door opens. For guaranteed escape every time.
So wait, so you could like sit in a... Hang on a sec, why did it... Ready. There we go. So you could just like sort of sit while the locusts are surrounding you and such, and you will heal faster than the damage?
No, when I'm sitting, I restock my spells. I'm sitting by a fire, I'll heal and restock faster. And getting like 3... So, there's a trick here that if you get... I don't know if it still works, but if you get white and gray potions, you can pop both and get both effects. But 3 gray potions is 18 gold, so as long as you make out with a little bit of money, which you can get almost guaranteed in Goblin. You know.
Well, I haven't been able to get any guarantees in Goblin. I keep fucking up.
So I have been doing the Brazil server. Is Singapore better for you?
I just went to Singapore because I think Oceania wasn't working for me to get into, so...
No, they've all been kind of off. Let's try Singapore.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, I've been going to Brazil, even though I'm in the Midwest of America.
Just going into other servers just to be like, right, this functions, let's go.
Basically.
Yeah. I wonder how, like, Iron Mace decides on these locations and how, like, have they had to, like, just get a contract, like, get an agreement so it's like, yes, we can use these cloud services, or if it's just, like, Amazon AWS stuff where they're like, approximation-wise, like, we can have Amazon hosting this here.
Oh, side note, you get 15 extra armor when you're near me, so enjoy that.
Ooh, okay. Is that just a...
Cleric perk.
Yeah, okay.
Me and everyone around me gets 15 armor and 15 magic resist. It's nothing too crazy, but it's not bad.
It's pretty decent if it's like, you know, we're going into...
I have
chest
no
on your
idea
left.
what to expect. You can grab the loot for now.
Alrighty then, cool. A lot of arrows in a ring.
Oh, there's some silly boys. Be purged! Behind you, move.
Oh, he's got magic, that's why.
Yeah, I would stay away from him. Summon his allies. I'll aggro them.
I can barely see. He's alright.
Shove them all. Alright. Let me just blast him real quick.
Alrighty then.
There you go. He's slow. Alright, get the loot real quick, I'll heal us.
So yeah, there's a coffin in there or something like that. Here we go. Protection and gold. Buckler and a wizard's hat. That's green.
Is it a buckler? Try to grab it.
It's
Okay.
just a gray. It's just a or white. Sorry, it's not a color.
Oh, you're
But there's a
fine.
green-
Mine's gray.
Yeah. Like, is
the
it the light
coffin.
gray or is it dark gray?
No, it's the default one, I think.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
default
Well, hang on. Where are you?
There is a blue quality bow if you want it. I'll take the green dagger.
Okay.
I can keep the shield if you want. I already got my inventory.
Oh, okay. Ooh, lantern. And there's another chest over here.
There's the guaranteed down right there next to us, I see.
The what?
Do you see this little staircase in the bottom right of the map?
Yep.
The red one? That's, I think, the guaranteed escape. But it might have to only spawn at the very end, so we have to kind of play it safe. I see some cauldrons and such. Or
Yep.
goblins. There's some blue glowing something or other. What the fuck is that thing? Something was glowing over there.
Oh, it's probably a wisp.
don't- Oh, that's cool.
They do like this, like, ew, and then they like
Chest,
shoot you with
chest.
like a thingy. So they don't hit you for
Interesting,
too
yeah.
much, but they're annoying. All right, why won't this? Okay, you can just walk through this. Like if you push forward.
No,
It's designed that way.
it's a glitch.
Okay.
Like
Alright.
that box didn't break, but you went through it. So yeah, that's the guaranteed down portal.
Oh, okay. So, let's see, there's nothing even to
Panel, another panel.
Alright, axes and let's alter a
Some spiders over
sacrifice.
here.
Alright, let me.
Oh, never mind. The trap will kill it.
Yeah,
Just
I was
keep
just
my
gonna.
eyes on the horizon. I see.
was
I
gonna-
see an escape for you. You want to leave already?
Ooh,
You got
felling
it.
axe. Hang on. Oh, it won't let me. Oh. Oh.
That was me hitting you. But you know I can hit you with that now.
Alright. And then open
Grant
this.
move.
Oh.
Kind of over the trap.
Oh, you're trying to. Okay.
I'm healing you.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, so
I'll go for the jar real quick.
you were talking about the escape portal north or somewhere else?
There is a blue portal right, yeah, north of us.
Yeah.
This pot's gotta go. I'm going for it.
Yep.
You go for the pot like a spider.
Yep. Got it. And then there's another chest there. I can hear other footsteps and such, though. Straw hat, useless.
And take a sit.
Oh yeah, I can take a sit as well, can't I?
Just trying to get my spells back. Let's see what we got here. I got at least one heal. That sounded really close.
What, the dropping things? That was me. I just dropped an item from my inventory.
Oh, I never noticed that, like, slightly red HP bar is actually what you heal if you sit.
Yeah. There's like 2 HPs.
Cool.
There's like actual damage, and then there's like exhaustion or whatever. But it's like, the minute I get up, like, that gray portion goes away, I've noticed. Alright, I'm just gonna break the boxes beside you.
What a straw hat, huh? That's a new one.
Yeah, that's for the Bard class, they
Bard,
call it.
yeah.
So, arm it. Cool. Slightly better armor, sure. Get the shoes on, thank you. Alright.
That portal's still over there. No, I see people fighting over there. Wait, no. Stay. They're right to the right. If you want to go, we can go. I can buff you the fuck up if you need. I got 2 heals only, though. What do you want to do here?
I haven't gotten a good look. Give me a sec. Portal looks like it's closing on the blue. I think they're coming our way, though.
You want to fight them?
Nah. It's... Oh, they might be dealing with someone else. They're just on the other side of the...
I would say back up towards where we were sitting for a bit. I'll just keep regenerating spells real quick.
Alrighty. Oh, yeah. Oh, they want us going in that direction. Oh! God damn it, there's a raid. Thank you so much for the raid, Omnia. Thank you so much.
I can heal through it, don't worry. Did they see you at all?
No, they haven't seen me at all. I just had to, like, say, like, thank you for the raid to someone in chat.
Oh, I think I meant a raid in game.
No, sorry, not a raid in game. That would be crazy if there was, like, a raid feature in game. So, yeah.
Nightmarish.
How was your stream, Dystromnia?
Oh,
I see that you were...
Sorry, I didn't see you saying that. I have to keep the stream kind of closed a little bit, otherwise I get distracted because there's 2 screens of dark and darker.
Yep. So, hope it was a good stream. Goddamn, you're swole as fuck. Hell yeah, I'm swole as fuck. I'm a zebra.
Okay.
I'm a himbo zebra.
Let's go ahead towards the exit, Grant. Follow me.
Yep. Running.
Yep. Alright, ready to go down? Stuff
Yep.
even more?
Yep.
You go first just in case it closes. Just you go first.
Catch your breath.
Alright.
Cool. Alright.
Sweet. Alright.
What
heal.
does it look... Oh, yep, I'm... I wish I could hover over, like, whatever thing... Alright, I'm fully healed now.
I know.
So, yeah.
Sanctuary is really strong like that. And it's really easy to regenerate.
Yeah, so... Because it looked like that I could, like, sit down and I could still regenerate some of that bit, so... I'm curious how the regeneration, like, bit is going to go, because it looks like they're trying to slow down the game, because it's like, you know, their arrows are now, you know, you have to pick those up to use ranged weapons. More
so the arrows... The arrows are not to slow down the game, because they want to add in thunder arrows, fire arrows, poison arrows, stuff like that. That's why they did the arrow change.
Yeah, okay. Hopefully the arrow economy isn't going to be too difficult.
No, arrows are easy to get. The thing is you can't sell them yet, so...
Yeah. Does the hunter, like, or, sorry, the ranger, do they start with arrows, at least, or...?
That, I don't know. I've only made the cleric so far. I'll probably move to something else at, like, level 20.
Alright. Probably worth, like, double-checking, because if they doesn't, then that's just going to be a real dick move on rangers. So,
Alright, this is a shitty spawn. Let's go.
Okay, so Dystromia says... So yeah, Dystromia in the chat, they were playing this earlier. Careful, Red. Oh, did I hit you by accident?
I think you did.
Sorry.
Let's get aggro on it. Slowing it down.
There we go.
Let me heal myself, and I'll do a sanctuary. Back up in. It's fine, I'll kill with my sanctuary. Just block, just block. Alright, just kill by me. Sanctuary kills undead things.
Oh, okay.
And heals us.
And it just fell through the floor. Alright, and then another straw hat. Oak chest.
Damage.
You were
We're
looking
gonna
for
probably. I think what the best bet here is. Probably best bet's going down just in case, but otherwise we can try to go northeast.
Alrighty then. Okay.
Somebody else is fighting. Bat's coming at you right now. No, it's not. That's not what it was.
No, that's just on searching.
Somebody's fighting a zombie though. Nearby.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, is it like safe to? Okay, there's traps down here. Like
It's. I've barely explored this room before, so.
All right, and then
good enough.
now they're coming down. There we go. Are the death skulls always red? Ooh,
Nope. Silly.
rat pendant. Plus 2.1 physical damage bonus, plus 2.1 armor penetration, resourcefulness 2. Yeah, you see where all the traps are?
All right. So hold on 1 second. You want to? No, oh, we want to jump across, Grant.
Oh.
That's fine. That's what I do.
Hey, look, chests. So yeah. Stromia's original was a zebra, one of the rarest sonas in the fandom. Zebras are rare. Dazzy over there is a kobold. So, but I've not seen this many
We're
they're probably rare for me too. Felicians.
a growing species.
Yes, still small though.
True.
All right.
I don't know this area too well. I've seen. Oh, they died to traps. Oh, are all these zombies free loot? Oh, fuck yeah, they are.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hold on. We got more baddies coming out.
All right, hang on.
Use the traps.
I thought we were just like, you know, behind the times or something.
Yeah, bring them out if you can.
Yep. I just farted a cloud. So yeah. Kobolds are exploding. They're everywhere in VR chat. Okay, in VR chat, sure, but no one's committing to kobold as a, Oh, god damn it, you have to do a fart cloud when I'm stuck here.
He's dead. You get up if you need to.
Yep, cool. I just didn't want to do a fart cloud. 5. Alright, put you in there. Put you in there.
The zombie loot's not bad, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Alright, throw you in there. Alright, what's in here? Ooh,
I got some leather leggings if you need them.
There's a jail door, and it looks like there's a red zombie on the other side. And a big chest. Do you have a lockpick?
No.
Ah, well, let's deal with the...
Grant, if you back up towards me, I'll hit you.
Oh, hang on. Need to crouch here. There we go.
Oh, no, you could have gone into the
Ah!
What's the plan?
Ah, okay. Careful. Oh, I don't have a lockpick.
No, it's fine. Just get your heals.
Alright, there we go. There's not... taking
And he's
them
dead.
on. Awesome! Can we... Oh, we can loot him from this side. Ooh!
Was he over there? Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then... I'm gonna wear the other kettle. And then drop you. Alrighty.
Viking helm, white claw, I'll leave it for now.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this is the way to go.
Oh, would you like to have a fox pendant that gives you +1 physical damage?
Maybe. There's an escape portal. I haven't joined
Oh.
right now. The physical damage is better. Okay, hold on. Let's get you out of here.
Yep, okay, not to worry. Automount is giving me an alert every time I say something in chat. It should, Sashera, you absolute horny fox, you.
Sash is sus, though.
Sash is sus. Oh, wait, can the
I think
barrels...
the middle... Yeah, the barrels can bopped. I think the middle column is where the staircase is.
okay.
So you breaking barrels and boxes right now?
Yeah, explosive bottle,
Alright.
explosive bottle, and
I
something
got an
or other.
escape portal for you if you want.
Oh, is it, like, up a floor?
You guys are up here?
Okay, center column you said, right?
Yep, where that one fart dude you got was.
Oh, yep. Meow.
Just shoot something.
No. Alright, portal opened. Oh, it's, again, it's this way, isn't it? Alright, I escaped. Now I can, like, properly look at chat while you do the cool,
Try not to die.
solo wait. You're an expert at this! Alright, I can check out Dystronia now.
I'm a healer.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I need to check out this like X because they said they were once a zebra. What are they now? Is that a rat? Hang on. I can get a closer look by checking their cute rating. One moment. And then zoom into the top left.
Fuck that.
Okay, that's not a rat. That is... Oh, they told me what it is. A vernid. What's a vernid?
Sounds familiar. I don't know.
Never heard of it. I am himbo as F. Hope they remember this. So, now I need to double check and see if there was like an auto mod, Yeah, I'm not seeing any new auto mod messages. Maybe they're just getting picked up by my other moderator or something. Who knows? But yeah, they're only 6% cute. You just want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's getting tighter and tighter, which is not a good sign for me.
Alrighty. Oh, sounds like something popped up. Some escape portals. There you go. I think you need to go. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to go. What are you doing?
Getting a chest. Getting a chest. It's fine.
How are you? You can't open that.
It's over here.
What are you doing?
Getting chests.
Oh my...
What? I can heal myself.
There's like locusts all around you. Yeah, but like you're trying to...
Look, I'm full health. This is how I play. I hide the locust swarms.
Yeah, and as Seshara says, greedy as fuck.
Oh, always. Kobold King.
Kobold King. Uh-huh. I thought dragons are the Kobold Kings.
I mean,
actually, no, there is an actual Kobold King Magic the Gathering. Hang on a second. Kobold King.
There are Kobold Kings.
Yeah.
They're rare. Usually they're chieftains, but there are a couple of kings. I escaped. Easy enough.
Where is it? Where is it?
Floor 3. That'd have been fun.
Oh, damn it. Okay, was it? They weren't called a... They're not a kobold. They're called Corvold, Fey Cursed King. Nice. Transformed at his own wedding, he promptly ate the banquet, the gifts, and the guests.
He ate the gifts?
And the guests.
There weren't PNGs.
Wait, why is it... Am I supposed to just click and drag? What?
What?
Oh my...
No,
I can't put bolts in the stash.
No, just shift. Shift click. Shift right click.
It won't... Item can't be placed in the stash. I can't put bolts in the stash.
Oh, okay, I don't know. I haven't used any ranged, but that's how you do the rest of your loot. So like your necklace, if you want to use it right now. Do you have a blue or green necklace on right now?
I have a blue necklace for resourcefulness 2.
You might want to stash that one and wear the green one for a while. I usually do it with my blues. So
yeah,
just,
no, that's...
Stockpile them and then go.
So yeah, plus this gives me like +1 physical damage. Like the big dragons. Look, dragons, as far as personas go, dragons are sexy, but they always have a fetish. You're never...
Doesn't everyone have a fetish?
Okay, let me explain a little, like...
Yes, please.
So, like, not like just an overall fetish of like, oh, like the bondage or the or like, you know, the common tags or something, but it's like the persona itself will invoke a fetish. So like you're never going to get a, like, for me it feels so much like a fetish. You're never going to get a skinny dragon. You're going to get them big. You're going to get them chunky or curvy. It is a mood. And I as much as I love dragons, I can't explain further on chat because like I would get in trouble.
I like them big. I like them chonky. I really thought you were, and I'm disappointed in you, Grant.
I like them big. I like them plumpy. Plumpy.
Exactly. There we go. Good job.
All right. Who do I sell the cool stuff to? The treasurer, is it?
Treasure, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Take this green mace.
Oh no, he's saying it's invalid.
What? No,
shift?
No, collector.
Oop. Well, I got rid of a cup.
Treasurer, you buy bags from, and you sell silver coins to. Sort of.
Wait,
you
why
sell
is it...
silver coins, you kind of buy silver.
Wait, where did they go?
They went to your stash if you shift with them.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just... Alright, so collector, and then selling, and then... And then he's got no interest in those. He has no interest in anything else, so I can make 27 coin. And then I can't buy anything from him, and treasure, meanwhile, can give me a coin purse, but there's really no point at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't really pick up the darts, because unless you're using a crossbow, there's no real need.
Yeah.
It's just not really that usable.
Yeah. Alright.
What I would do once you start getting a lot more money is start buying stuff like either greens or like gray potions for 3 of them. Cost like 18 gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Rondelle dagger.
Why
I can
have
probably
like
give to the...
a stack of like 50 health potions in my chest. So if I die, I just go back into it.
Okay. Anyone want to buy a pickaxe? Horseman's axe, blue. I don't like the spellcasting aspect of it. It seems dumb. All right. I'm ready to go again.
Do you want a really good weapon?
No, I'm good. I want to get practice in the technique before I get new stuff.
Because I have a blue hatchet with 1 additional physical damage and +2 physical power. It's pretty nasty, actually.
I want to get better at the game as I go. So.
That's fair. Okay.
Galleon was a dragon before, and they're not that big and not so kinky. Well, that's exactly why you didn't stay as a dragon. You just weren't kinky enough. I mean,
exactly.
Like, Dazzy, like, have you ever been a dragon? I feel like you haven't. Have you ever had the thought to be?
Nope. Kobold all the way.
Oh, wow. Someone just knows exactly what they want. Jesus,
Yep.
What does that feel like?
It makes you feel better. I didn't make this character until 100 kobolds I made anyways, so... I just decided to make my, let's just say Sona, based on the fact that I made 100 kobolds. Now we're nearing 200 kobolds, so that's the fun there.
Now there's 2... Why do I feel like you've just drawn, like, kobolds, like, hundreds of times?
What is that?
No, those are just,
Oh, it's armor. It's armor racks.
Yeah, also there's arrows on here.
Yeah, I wouldn't
there's...
really grab arrows. That's like green temple armor. I wouldn't grab arrows. They're just not that valuable.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Behind you.
This is some good loot here right now.
Yep.
I see these 2 potions. I got a better shirt, actually.
I picked up a halberg, so I'm gonna grab that.
Here, take this chest piece if you need it. Dropping it right now below me.
Hang on.
Fire!
There we go. I didn't hit you at any time then, did I?
No. Nah.
Wizard hat and quarterstaff.
I'll grab the potions.
Oh.
They're underneath the desk. And I also dropped a shirt on the ground somewhere for you.
Oh, okay. Here's what's the annoying bit, is like, this looks like stuff I can pick up, and it's like, nope, do you want an arrow? It's like, no, I want the things in there. Alright. Not enough space for the... Oh, okay.
I
now...
would really drop the arrows.
Oh yeah, I can drop the bolts as well.
Like... They're good
Yeah.
to have and all if you're gonna be using it. Campfire bottle. Do you have a hat?
I've got a kettle hat, yeah.
I don't have a Hoon Skull's better.
Alright.
This might be better. It also goes with that shirt I dropped for you.
Yep, okay. And then... Oh yeah, the Hoons does, like, it does, like, a lot more armor, but it's, like, minus in both the magic resistance and the movement. So...
And I know you said the dragons are kinky, Grant, but what if they just play samurai instead? Instead of kinky, they're just kinky.
They're
Why
just...
you gotta judge?
Wait, they're just what? Oh, damn, I forgot.
The, energy for samurai in Final Fantasy 14. It was a bad joke, don't worry.
It went right over me. Alright, that gives me a strength boost, which I am absolutely gonna wear. More arrows. Oh yeah, you already, like, looked through that.
Yeah. Do you want to go the same route to get to that guaranteed exit?
Oh yeah, we can go to there. Yeah, because then that gives us, like, a chance of being able to go down another...
Well, the thing is,
chest!
You can't queue for the second floor, so anyone who's in the second floor made it through the first floor, so it's less people.
Yeah.
Which is
Axe
just
things. Yep. Bronze chest. Dragons love black and red and get jealous. Cooler, heavier boots, but... Oh, there's a big chest over
I
there.
have barbarian somewhere, yeah. You have barbarian somewhere.
Yeah, but we also have...
I'll take the one behind you. That's aggro.
This thing is, like, literally, like, 3 hits and they're down with the whatsamahoozies. That's cool.
I'll take the better shield.
Alright, I'm trying to open this right now.
I'm bracing you for it. I'm bracing you for it, Grant. Fight me.
Got it. Double
Behind us, behind us, behind us, behind us, behind us, behind us, behind us. You use shields and shit.
He has,
Wait,
like,
Grant.
no reach while I'm holding the fucking... he's jumping in from below.
And jump.
I can't see while you guys go in there.
Still on me.
Got him.
I think his barbarian friend died too.
Yeah, I got his barbarian down in 2 hits because he had, like, no reach over me.
Alright, here's the sanctuary.
Alright, hang on. Yep, stay close.
Just chill.
Alright.
Here's the run.
And I'm nearly full. Nice. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by chat as well, because, like, I got Destroma, who's, like, just like, ooh woo, a giraffe, looks up, real tall. Alright, battle axe.
Sure. Oh, that's right, he's a barbarian.
Yeah, he has
Another
nothing.
cat with agility, though.
Ranger,
I'll take that, actually.
47,
I don't need a spell pass, I'll
20.
take that hat. It's better.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, we should get going soon.
Alright, let's go down a floor if we can. Alright, just gonna activate my sprint just so I can move a little bit quicker. We need to go to the door on the left, don't we, for the guarantee?
There's an escape right here if you want to take it.
Oh.
Do you have loot? You want to keep getting loot?
There's another chest over here.
Let's just keep getting loot for now. I'll just keep an eye on you and it.
Ancient scroll cracked.
Yeah, but it's a full space item they sell for more. I'm going up this staircase to see what's up here, so be careful.
I'm just gonna activate the portal then and go on ahead. I don't wanna risk it, especially like with the amount of levels I can get for the fact that we've killed 2 players in this run.
2
like,
whole players, Grant.
2 whole players.
Grant, you're adorable. I'm just making fun.
Oh. Like, going from, like, level 5, like, it's still something. Like, not all of us are, like, you know, dark and darker, like, professionals like you.
I'm not. I just played, like, 40 hours the last time it was out.
A lot more than me, basically. So.
I already got Bone Zone. We'll go down the staircase a little bit.
Alrighty
Come
then.
on. Come on, Skeletor. There we go. That's a good boy.
Weird that they now have fire on them now.
You're not wrong.
There we go. So yeah.
Just have these arrows flying over my face. Take the green bow, why not?
So Sarah just has like no chill with you. It's like just you're more of an addict, not a professional. Here I am thinking of the best words possible to help describe why Dazzy is cracked at this.
I mean, Sash, what's the difference?
Ooh, professionals get paid.
Well, okay, that's right. Maybe I'm not a professional.
Yeah. Well, do you get paid? Do you get paid by Twitch? I guess is the question.
I do. I am in a bad spot right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try and glitch through that thing.
To fight. Oh, I'm not. I can get out of here.
Oh, how?
I have to break down the door still, but I can do this.
Sorry for...
So...
It's moments like these that I feel bad for, like, taking the escape portal, because I'm like, I feel like you would have benefited from, like, an extra pair of feet. So... But yeah, I raised this concern, like, the last time we were playing as well, where it's like, you know, I like the whole, you know, dungeon crawling roguelike part, but I'm just not 100% behind the whole, oh yeah, you can abandon your friends. I'm not for that, because it doesn't play into, you know, the whole playing together as a group. Like...
It's less for that, more for the sake of balancing out if you have a party. You're fighting a party.
I guess, but... Nothing's ever going to beat a full party, I feel, unless you go against a full party. That's the obvious bit.
Well, right, but if they're not a full party because they split up because somebody left, then there you go. Alright, I made it.
And there you go, going down another floor.
Yeah, let me heal up real quick.
So... But yeah, yeah, just mechanically, I feel like they're still split on whether they want to commit to, like, the hard mode, because so long as you have, like, a party finder function at the start, it's like, yeah, like, getting 3 people at the start is going to be a bit of a tough thing, and the whole, oh yeah, it takes 1 at a time to leave. I don't know,
As
like...
I said, though, like, it's just to balance it out for people. Because so let's just say, for instance, all 3 of us are really fucking geared. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
We all have epics, purples, and legendaries and uniques. But you 2 escape on the previous floor, and I'm down here with a party of 3 who suck ass. It balances out. Otherwise, you'd have no fucking shot.
I feel like the balance issue, like, it's different, like, because you're coming at it as to it, oh, this is the answer. Yeah, you're in a bad spot.
I'm in a really bad spot.
You're coming into it with the, like, oh, trying to be balanced with, like, outside of the group and such like that. So group v group. I'm coming into it as a, oh, like, what does it feel like to play as a group?
Right.
Is the thing.
I less mean group. I mean more like if you're a solo player going through this place, and it's easier going down or to fight somebody when they're not a group of 3. Period.
Yeah.
It wasn't about group v group. It was just in general like it's easier to fight somebody when they're not.
Oof.
That sucked.
They've put these traps in a very weird
funky
format.
Yeah. Very funky formation.
They've realized people can just walk the sides, and they're like, you know what? Let's just not have it that way.
Ooh, purple gold. That's like 80 gold right there.
What?
Purple,
I can't see.
Gold bowl, perfect. Yeah, you can if you hold tab.
Oh, the bowl, rightio. Recurve.
Yeah. Better pants.
Templar riveted.
Haha! Suck it, Gabe.
Suck it. You know how to get out of it.
Shit. I'm thinking about the cairns. It's not bad. I'll take it. Nah, not really worth it.
Not 100% following what that conversation was.
It was a green axe. I don't know if I wanted to keep it or not.
By the by, who's Chunky?
What?
Sashi was saying, also, oops, Dazzy, I was forgetting to watch Chunky, and it overdid. I'm fixing.
Oh,
Don't freak out.
we have a Minecraft server, right?
Yes.
We're trying our hand. There we go. At chunk loading. Ow, my ankles! Our hand at chunk loading to help with the server's heavy load. LOL.
Yep. So.
Don't worry, lovely use from Grant's channel. I chose their words on purpose.
So yeah. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to minimize the.
What the fuck is wrong? Let's go. Whoa!
Is it? Wait, is it black? It's charred.
It's black.
Oh my god, you are.
I don't know what you are, demon. I don't know what you are. Be gone, filth. Ah! Oh, I got hit.
Oh no.
I got shot by Lutz. What the fuck was that thing?
That looked heavy. Oh
I
my
was
goodness.
the only person alive. Well, fuck me.
Were you?
I would have gone the other. Yeah, I was. That's why it automatically kicked us out.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Rat's on level 5, by the way.
Yes. Thank you. I'm now level 5.
I got some extra gear.
I can now do. Cannot equip plate armor, but gains 5 weapon. Not worth. I don't have like a loadout to figure out between the two. Successful defense increases the movement speed and attack speed by 10% for 3 seconds. I'm not doing that well.
That thing was so fast. What the fuck? I tried so hard. I really did.
I tried so hard and got so far.
I didn't get that far.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
I will say I'm a little salty that I died after surviving the horde of skeletons in the plague. Damn it. What can I buy here? I already got pans. Can I buy a chest piece?
Wait, are they not? There we go. And then...
Plus 13 armor rating and some sexy pants, I'm not gonna lie.
So wait, who wants the scroll?
Nice.
Would that be the treasurer, or...?
Yeah, treasurer. Or collector. Everything that's like relics is collector.
Oh. Didn't look like he was interested. Oh, no, he was interested.
Yeah,
okay. Just one. Right.
Okay, let's see here. I'll buy some bandages.
Ding
I will
dong.
buy some potions. Any kind of weapon, Warmaw, fuck that. How much more damage is that? 32 from 27. Alright, I think I'm good. Not a bad book, actually.
Wait, why can't that... Wait, I can only have one... Oh, here we go. Another potion of healing.
Oh, it might be gray.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's all it is.
Yep. Alrighty.
Yeah, if you got money, like, so, like, you don't have to buy him now, but if you look at the Alchemist, he sells shit for really cheap.
Where is he? There he is.
Yeah.
Potion
like,
of
3
healing.
gray potion. Yeah, get the 3 for gray. It's 18 gold. That's all it is. Because the biggest thing about this game is making sure you mitigate as much damage as possible and heal as much damage as possible.
Yep.
And move,
Yep.
And then what you should just do is just stash them away if you already have full inventory on them.
Yeah. Minus 18, minus 5 gives me more resourcefulness though, but nah.
Plate will always slow you down.
Yeah, plate will always slow me down is the thing, and I kind of want to balance that.
Hold on. There was a way to get 95% damage reduction last test through armor, so it's kind of worth it depending.
Yeah.
Wait, the game is out, or is it? It's another closed beta, or not even closed beta. It's still a
alpha.
An alpha phase test 5. Though the early access, which is going to be the paid one, where it's not going to reset after a week or go away, is after this, and it's supposed to be late April, early May. However, with the legal battle with Nexon, it's going to be delayed probably, but they might also extend this too. So
yeah. So it was also weird, like just seeing it, because I didn't even get like a notification or anything because of having it previously on Steam, but I had to learn through like a tweet that they were doing they were going through torrents, and I was like, my piracy like memories just flooded back in, and I was like, what? I gotta open BitTorrent again to play a game?
Oh, I didn't click start. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
It's okay. We're chatting and such.
Dude, the fucking ashen skeletons can suck a dick, though. That was fucking awful.
It's a shame we can't, like, pet any of the wolves. That's a proper downgrade.
Yeah.
So, also, hi there, Magna Dracomon. Dracomon? Hi. I'd wave, but I don't have the leap motion thingy-majiggy working because I need to try and get as much CPU usage as possible into this game. All right, there we go.
Is that intensive?
It's not that it's intensive. It's just through the fact that my CPU is really good for games, or for streaming, or for 3D. It can't do like two things at once. It's not really good that way.
You've entered the reasoning for a dual PC setup.
Yeah, well...
Hello, friends!
Oh, hang on, where is it? There they are.
Yeah, you red boy.
There we go. Oop, watch
Now
it.
you can carry me, Grant. Haha!
Woo! It's...
Shit, why am I sitting down?
round shield gives you... Alright, I'm gonna... swap that over. So I'll go for the bigger shield if I can. And now to check the chest. But yeah, this halberd just helps me out so much.
I'll take the hat, that's great. And the shield.
Alright. Green gives me +1 weapon damage, which is good. And the old shoes don't really do much for me.
Yeah, if you're going fighter, you either want to go for weapon damage or like heavy armor.
Yep.
We're gonna hang
people
out
are...
over here, but
Someone is fighting 3 skeletons.
you wanna go gank him?
Yeah, I'm ganking him.
Is it a rogue?
Nah, it's just a warrior.
Oh, alright. 1 second.
I'm taking care of the skeletons, though. I'm gonna, you know, be reasonable.
Did he just DC'd? Hello? Well, he's dead now. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Why is... Oh, did he not kill... Oh, he must have not done any damage to that skeleton. I decided to, like...
Heal shrine if you need it.
Yep, cool. I just decided to be like, you know what? I am going to hit the skeletons. And then we'll see how he reacts. Ooh, emeralds.
Well, I've gone full aggro. I have a +3 weapon damage quarterstaff, so...
Alright, where did the red guy go? There was a red, of the
Skeleton.
variant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So... I think that...
killed him.
Yeah, well, no, I killed him. Oh, there he is. Found him.
Bandage.
Yep, found a better one. Alright, the green shrine is the...
statue. Yeah, it's healer.
Yep, okay, cool. I'll use that.
Oh, 4 emeralds. No, 2 emeralds at least.
Ooh. Hi there, Glam Daddy. God, I love some of the names that chat has. Like, some of them are, you know, just really good ones, like Sashara Era, or you know, Code the Yoshi, where it's like, you know, just clean, concise. And then I have, like, Glam Daddy, or Dino Chicken Nuggets. Was that you?
Or Xerus. Yeah, it's me just
So, I've not seen anyone better than Dino Dino Chicken Nuggets, though. What the?
Big glitched.
Okay. Fine. All right.
Oh, chest though. I think it's a better boots though. Lightfoot, yeah, it's better.
Alrighty.
Are you walking around right now?
Yeah, that's just me. Oh, skeleton. There we go. He's down. Heavy boots don't really help me out. I would very much like to go down another level with you.
Oh, Wraith. Do you want to fight it? If we fight it, it could drop blues and purples. We can pull into this room. Here, let me pull into this room.
Pull him into our room or go into this room? Okay, go
around
into
the fountain. I don't know what's in here. The other room's clear. We can kite around the fountain for the statue.
Alright.
It should be on my ass. Just poke him when you need to. You're good now. But if he turns around, here we can run.
Yep. Oh.
doing now. Hurts a lot, be careful. Run.
I'm trying to. There we go.
Run.
I'm running.
I got his aggro.
Oh, there's a barbarian with me. That's why.
There's 3 people.
Yeah. Sometimes it's tempted to just have open mic. Rather than like just press a button, just have them like hear this conversation and such.
I killed at least one of them.
Alright. So, shame. The Halberg was nice.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. Let's have a look.
That's the danger of ever fighting anything. You have 2 passives. Okay, you do. Good.
Yeah, alright. No, I'm not gonna go with you.
Max health, knowledge, magic penetration. Let's do.
Yes. Casting speed. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Alright, let's have a look at what the Weaponsmith myth can offer me. I want something with, like, poke.
By the way, Grant's chat, how are we all doing today, lovelies? Y'all excited for the return of Dead Island 2 in about a week?
Oh yeah, Dead Island 2 comes out in a week, and I was...
Next week, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. There's so much that's, like, coming up in the next week or two that I'm like... After finally getting done with Kingdom Hearts, finally getting done with Resident Evil 4, and it's like, right, got a few more things to go through.
There's also, like... Redfall is the first of next month, which is that vampire, like, looter shooter. There's... Ghost Warrior Tokyo came out, I think, yesterday. Something like that. The new... There's shit everywhere. Warhammer 3 got an update with Chaos Dwarves. So where do I find this game? Because it's not on Steam. Go to the Dark and Darker Discord.
The Dark and Darker Discord and Iron Mace Games, their Twitter, they have also posted the magnet link for their playtest as well. So,
yep,
they're going underground with us. We have to go underground with them and try games by going through Qubit torrents and such.
That's honestly one of the reasons why I like Iron Mace so much, is they're like, yeah, Nexon sucks, but fuck them, here, have this game. It's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, this could be dangerous for them as well, because, like, they're really doing this because it's like, oh, you know, they can do this whole, like, tweeting the torrent link and such like that, because they're very confident that they are going to win this argument, because I talked about it earlier, where the argument that Nexon is trying to get at is either... like, they have to try and prove that they are using resources that are Nexon only, which Iron Mace, you know, is going with their strongest foot forward of no, it isn't, and the alternative is... Yeah, they've already released their side and such like that. So for them to... But the thing is that to go to court, there isn't... Like, going to court is never like the, 98% chance they are going to, you know, win or anything like that. When you go to court, you're going to court because there is no correct conclusion in the eyes of the law or in eyes of, like, say, the police or some sort of legal department. Nexon's lawyers are very much thinking there is something here that they can win. And it's most likely going to come down to, which... a lot of video game people are not going to be for, is the idea that if Nexon can prove that they were working on this game, like, if they can somehow prove that idea or white sheet and all this kind of nonsense was their stuff first, that's going to be probably their bigger argument point in the courts. Which,
so looking at the stuff that I've seen and how it works, here's the real thing of it. They don't have a ground to stand on because Iron Mace put in the Dark and Darker patent for copyright 6 months ago. P3 did a month ago.
Yeah.
Following that, the assets are all bought off of the Unity store. All of them. Following that, there's no legal... The only thing they have is it's the same concept artist for the loading screen art, basically.
Yeah.
But you can't copyright somebody's style.
No.
You can't copyright Dungeons and Dragons. Not really. You can't copyright what? The thing is,
Wizards would very much love to try, and that's the thing, is that is concept and idea has not been tested in the law. That's why these guys are going to courts and such like that.
Or a theme.
Yeah.
It's not something you can condone.
Well,
The
it's just
thing
never
is-
been legally enforced is the thing. Like,
Right.
that's what this court proceeding is about, is can they legally enforce this? A lot of people want to say no. Hey, a wolf.
The thing is that the Korean apparently
They leap.
there's a lot of
Yeah, they're in packs. They're pack wolves. What do you think?
I don't know. I haven't been here. I don't know. As I was saying, the Korean government apparently sides with their corporations or courts.
Yes.
One
So.
friend, run, friend, don't die.
Oh, I did
Right,
not
damn
pay
it.
attention. I didn't pay attention! This was some very important talks. I didn't care about hitting the wolves. But yeah, you're still
All
alive.
right, well, I'll loot your heart, and also we can read this in a bit.
Alright.
Just need a short sword.
But yeah, you are correct that, like, this is where the worry comes in, is that it's going through the South Korean courts where it's
Yes.
a big... the fact of the matter is, it's a big-ass company going against an indie, which is everyone is kind of watching on and such like that, because... You know, some people have the concern of like, oh, it's going to, you know, be a case of that the giant of the industry is going to set the precedent and such like that, and if they weren't, they were going to make it, you know, just financially a nightmare to fight. So
See, that's what the main concern is, really, is the legal fees. Apparently, though, they have backers, like very, very good backers, but it's still... So what classes are in the game, by the way, Galendar? We have 7, we just got the Bard in today.
Yep.
Turn and choose. We have Wizards, we have Clerics, we have Barbarians, Fighters, Rangers, Rogues, and then we also have... I got your sword, by the way. We also have Bards now. And they have, like, room to add more classes and more dungeons and stuff.
Yeah.
This LG X triple 11's concerning. They got 2 kills already. Short sword.
He must be with to go or whatever that name is. Looking at the kill logs.
Maybe.
On your left.
Oh, yep. Oh, they're just the demon dogs on the third. Oh, they're easy. Just let them jump and you turn. That's all you do. Just turn, see? They can't turn. They can only leap.
Lol. Okay.
Oh, that's way easier. Oh, all right. Yeah, that's easy as fuck. Oh, I was so scared. They're really monster. No, that's fine. It's just the demon dogs.
Just the
What's
demon
each thing?
dogs. So yeah. So my
I hear
thought
that.
on like, you know, where Nexon is going to try and direct to is the Iron Mace people are ex-employees. So this happened in Silicon Valley. I think he's dead. Behind you, however. What is... you're nearly dead.
No, I'm dead.
Yep.
That was that one player.
Yeah.
The LGX, probably. Let me see.
Oh, it doesn't say, because the Dark Swarm hit you.
Yeah, it was. It was LGX. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So yeah, so I reckon...
Not really rocking much either.
No.
Anyway.
I feel like Nexon is going to try... They're just going to try and, you know, set a timeline of like, oh, this game was being worked on while they were employed with us, and we're either using our resources or using our plans to do it. That's what I think they're going to try and do.
They're going to try to, but the big thing is, because Dark and Darker had a copyright patent 5 months before Nexon did to their project, that doesn't hold in court.
No,
It just
like,
doesn't.
no, like, okay, so that 5 month... That 5 month...
They own the copyright.
Yeah, they own the copyright, but the problem is that if they worked on it while as Exxon employees before the copyright, though, then it's Nexon's and the copyright. This is the problem, is that we don't, like, I don't know the full timeline. They're not going to share the full timeline. This is why it's going to court. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah. Well, Iron Mace has been sharing the timeline.
So,
but
I'm just really
regardless they're just trying to dredge it through the mud and trying to make it so it either stalls out, nobody plays the game, or financially bankrupt them.
Hmm.
And the thing is, Nexon's done this many times in the past, but nobody's given a fuck because it was like a phone game
Yep.
that had no real traction. It's like, all right, this is a dime a dozen JRPG phone game that's kind of shitty.
Yeah. I'm just really hesitant on, like, because I very much want Iron Mace to be in the right here, especially since, you know, they're easy to they've been like, you know, throwing receipts and what have you, but just ever since in some What's-Mahoozy, the voice actress who used to be for
Fox. Josh Fennec Fox.
Fox. Because of like the voice actress Ashley or whatever from when they first voiced Bayonetta, they gave us their narrative on why they didn't voice for Bayonetta 3, and then it was like it sounded correct, at least to us and such like that. And we didn't poke any holes into the logic or anything like that at first, but it was only when, you know, the company decided to like talk back that we were like, oh, hang on, this, like, we were getting mixed information and learning, oh, she was just trying to have us side with her.
What? Is it just? Oh, okay, it's just blinded.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So
That's a very good call too.
Fart cloud.
Don't die. I can heal you.
Give me a min.
Yep, just come towards me so I can get eyes on you. I'll get myself instead. Careful. Gotcha.
Yep.
I like the open map so far, but this is like a ganker's paradise for sure.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the second floor has way tighter hallways, that's way harder.
Yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, I like this open.
Alright.
Just picking up things as I go along. Doublet will be nice.
But you're not wrong with the whole Bayonetta thing.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. There's a green doublet. Unless, can you wear it?
Though.
No, you
yeah, I
can't.
think maybe. No?
Rogue Ranger Fighter.
Okay. 2 more zombies coming our way right now, but they got some time.
Alright.
Coming from the north.
There we go. Plate.
Take
Yep,
the pants. Never mind,
yeah.
you got the pants. It's fine. You're a tank anyway.
I'm a tank. I'm always gonna wear the pants.
I think the I'm a dumbass because I can't get the magnet link to work.
The magnet link is what you put into a, like, say, uTorrent or Qubit torrent, and it's not a file. Oh,
Players.
Barbarian.
I'm dead.
Oh, I could not see where the rogue went. There he is. And Barbarian got me. Billy locks. We
Yep.
just weren't prepared. And I think it was... Oh, it's a party of 2 there as well. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just the gank squads.
Yeah.
I said this is a ganker's paradise.
Yeah. Didn't get a lot of damage on the ranger from the looks of it, though, which is sad. Sag.
I didn't even hit any of them.
Yeah.
I was not ready.
No. Fair enough.
I think they nerfed my judgment, which is really annoying.
It's just not accepted. Huh.
Oh, yes, Ash, here's Fox. Actually, it's through Gan screen. There's Fox somewhere.
Fox?
There it is, over here, Grant. Yep. It's not the white one, it's the gray one, though. Right here.
Yeah, but that's still a fox. That's still a fox. You can't tell me that's not a fox.
No, it's a fox.
In the all caps, gimme. You can revive a teammate if they die, collect their soul from their corpse at the room. Removing their chest armor, find a sacrificial altar with their soul heart equipped and make a small blood sacrifice. Yep, cool. Alrighty. Ooh. 2 chests here, by the by. Oh, never mind. One of them is a mimic.
Come on, open up.
Alright, let me just check. Is this one a mimic as well?
Stole my other chest. Grant opens a chest. It's a mimic. It then moves over to my chest.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check was all.
It's fine. I got some boots.
And then
nice
this one
blink
was
boots.
a helmet for a fighter or a barbarian, so nothing strong here. Another chest over on the left.
Try 'em. It's bad.
Alright, let me just...
There's something somewhere.
that was just a skeleton.
You have a helmet, yeah?
Yeah. And I realize this is a very slow... That is a very slow
Melee.
axe. I should not use
You're
that.
generating.
Yeah. This is a piece of shit.
How much armor's your hat?
21.
Here, this is better.
Like I'm opening this. Straw hat over there. Ooh, thank you. Alrighty. And then... Yeah, I don't want to drop into the waters. I feel like that's going to be a mistake.
Mostly because they're closing in on us.
Skeleton?
Use your shield, Grant. Use your shield. I got you.
Yep, no, fine. I'll regularly forget, but... There we go. Yep.
I'm out of heals now. I'll have to take a little siesta while you fight.
Yep,
Don't
okay.
die.
I just need to find out where the... Oh, there you are. Okay, this guy was not accepting any of my swipes.
Ow.
What are you doing?
Oh, I got aggro. I was gonna clown the thing.
Yeah.
You know, while I'm healing, or restoring mana.
There we go.
Sanctuary.
That.
Good to hear, Magna. Good to hear.
You.
Have fun with the game, by the way. It's very fun. I would suggest going to Goblin Caves. There's no parties in there because it's all like solo queue.
Yep. So yeah, there should be more skeletons in this area as well.
I trust you, Grant. You got this. If you need a healing, come towards me. Once I have at least 3 slots, I'll come back in.
Yep.
Are you moving around? Somebody's coming. Somebody's coming. Somebody open the door.
Where are you?
Right over here. Somebody open a door by you. Gonna just sit here a second. Let them come in if they do. And
Friendly?
hold me, my friend. Hold
Not
me.
friendly, not friendly. But he's naked, so...
Super fast, so we should go kill him. He'll keep stalking us, go kill him. Probably invisible too right now. It's most definitely visible somewhere. It only lasts 30 seconds though.
Well, he hasn't opened any of these chests, so...
Yeah. Just don't get caught looting.
I was trying to, you know, juke him into coming after me as I was opening a chest. Because he may be invisible, but... You know... He still needs to make noise.
Unless he's standing completely still.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Unless he's.
You got some,
standing.
need some boots? I think we're good.
I
Let's get
can
loot.
do
I'll
this.
keep an eye on you.
All right. I'm just behind you.
Oh, my game crashed. I need you to keep me alive for like 2 seconds.
Barrier's like coming closer.
Just make sure nobody like comes up and stabs me. I'm logging in now.
About to hit the mist.
I have. It's fine. I have 2 sanctuaries. Mist isn't that much damage. Not as much as you think it is. Like you can hang out in it for quite a bit before you start taking damage, as you can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's head towards the down for now. I say that I'm not really looking forward to more ashen skeletons personally, but.
Oh shit! I don't know how you got to where you. Oh, there you are.
You're right, Grant. Yeah, down here, yeah. There's a downstairs. We're gonna go right through the down portal. It's not open yet, so we gotta be careful here. Let me just. Flare.
Multiple. We just want to go down. All right, never mind. They're not wanting to listen to us.
I'm dead. Damn it.
Got their barbarian. Their buddy is running.
Shit.
How do I know if the down portal's open?
You'll hear a noise. Like a portal is opening. Ooh, he got you.
Sorry, I
I
heard the first hit and I was like, okay, I thought he didn't do the ting thing, so I thought it was safer to like rush him.
Let's see.
So. T. Ding.
It's 2 blues, yeah. Alright. I just need a little bit of armor before I can start surviving.
Mm-hmm.
Ready when you are.
Ready. Oh, a party member is not ready yet. Oh yeah, because you left.
Waiting for you.
Yeah, so I have to wait for you to hit
yeah,
ready.
It's me. You're right.
I am now the leader.
Shit, Grant's in charge. Everyone run.
Yes, I'm in charge.
We'll get some tea while this is loading. We're back.
All right, I'm gonna find the white fox. All right, Sashara, like call it out if you see it. That's a chicken. Oh, there it is. There she is. There's the white one. Hello. Hi. Got him. And we're back in.
What'd I miss?
Found the wolf. Sorry, the fox. And we are now dealing with nothing.
Wolf pack's down south. We just do it 1 person at a time, though. Or 1 wolf at a time, even.
Yep.
But we should get the barrels first, because barrels and crits can have 2 pieces. Actually, skeletons over here, too. Let's just get this first. It could have, like, 2 boots. Or, like,
skeleton is following us. It's aggroed on you.
I'll run you out.
Oh, cool. Survival bow.
Some heavy boots there. Crystal ball there if you want it.
Nah, I'm good. It's not a. It's not like a
doing?
color. Trying to break this barrel.
Oh, I broke it already.
Well, it's glitched.
Sorry,
Well, it's
glitch.
Yeah, it's glitched for me then. All right, heading east. Break these boxes.
It's an archer. I'm trying to get that.
Oh, there's the archer.
Clutching the archer.
Yep. There we go. I can barely see. There we are.
Yep, lantern's good for that. Well, good job, buddy.
Hey, thank you.
Is that just your footsteps?
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything yet. No, not worth.
I'll toss it real quick.
Another 2 chests here.
I'll get the fire one.
Skeleton. Old shoes.
What's it look for, Sash? What, you saw the fox?
Yeah, I told them to like keep an eye on them, and I found the white one. I was like, there they are. So there might be like a little delay.
A better weapon.
Version.
I wanted to go upstairs,
Nice.
probably my best bet. So we'll just break these boxes and head probably north.
Ooh, plate boots.
Yeah, plate boots, old shoes. I got heavy, so I'm fine without taking wizard hack. Might be something underneath. Just arrows. Bolts.
We can't go up the stairs because of the thingy, so would rather.
Yeah.
Let's go through the door and
I'm
then to the
thinking
left.
north.
That way we can avoid
Yeah.
the wolves.
Yeah. Not that hard, but with like 12 of them, it's little.
Yeah.
Our skeletons ready.
Yeah, I see one of them. Just give me a minute.
Oh. Yeah, you should. Don't worry.
Yep, so he's dead. Thank you. So we can go
Alright,
into
this
here.
is the area where we can... I said we'd head up top towards the keep. Over here to the right, yeah. Gives a bit of advantage point of view.
Bangle.
And then they're actually...
Alright.
Because there is a portcullis right below us, so we can go down if we need to. Ranger, down the way. Here, I'm gonna give you shield first.
Wait, down the way as in this way?
To your left.
Yep.
And across the platform as well. Breaking these pots back here. Right over to you. Bandage, nice. We'll take that. Fucking bolts. No, thank
There we
you.
go. Another recurve
Alright.
bow. A lot of
Look it over
bows.
here. I'll take the booze because I can actually use that.
Ooh, surgical kit.
That's pretty much a full heal, which is pretty good.
Yep.
There's a chest
Yep,
by you
yep.
right there to your behind you.
I already opened that chest. That's where I got
Did
the
you?
surgical kit.
No, you didn't.
Or are you talking about this chest that I'm in front of right now?
No, right here. I'll open this one. Take the turquoise gem.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't pick anything up from that.
It's
sorry.
fine. Oh, these are all broken, right? Are they?
Justo9 Gamer with the 8-month
I'm on the scare damage for now. I'll heal some sanctuary if I have
GrantZeebs,
to.
how are you doing? Twitch didn't let me sub to T3, so I subbed for 6 months T1 instead XD.
Wait. August, you just subbed for T3?
Oh shit, August the fucking champ.
Oh no, it's tier 1. They resubbed. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading their thing and it's like...
How dare you not play August.
They didn't let me sub for tier 3, so they subbed for 6 months on tier 1 instead. Aw. Well, thank you for subbing. I don't have much to offer at tier 3 yet besides a butt emote. That's not really worth. Alright, can we go down a floor at this point, or...?
We might have to hang out a bit still. I'm trying to find out right now. I actually have no idea to get over there.
This way. Because then we can... Nah, this will just at least get us out of the locusts. And then figure
hang
out...
on by me for a second.
Yep.
I think it's in the locust still. I could be wrong though.
I don't know where else it would be.
Don't forget, you just got some gloves, put them on.
Subbed until the... Oh, damn it!
Run back into the void. Back into the locust if we need to. I got you.
Okay, back into locust. Cool. Okay. Oh, I see where the thingy-majiggy is now. Hang on. So...
Well, if you're thinking about the door, it's not like a real... Oh. Yeah, there it is. We'll hang up for here. Over here is actually some, a little bit of outer swarm.
Alright, there we go. That thing's dead.
Over by me.
Yep, I see the little break. There we go. So...
Sanctuary.
Alright, here's the good news. I can just use the surgical kit.
I will full heal you. You're fine. I have to heal too.
Oh, okay.
Save that shit for when I die.
But yeah, thank you, August, for subbing for so long. October 12th is my birthday. What if it doesn't open?
It will. They always will. We might have to survive in the plague for a bit of time is the issue, but it will open. So if you have bandages or health potions, get ready to use them.
Yep, okay.
Which is why I always buy a couple.
It's opening.
Oh, it's open.
Yep. And now we just wait.
Open, guaranteed. Yep.
Cool. Where's you? There's you.
I'm gonna heal myself.
Alright. I can double check what I got. Can't move now. Oh, can I not put things on while I'm... That's dumb.
No. Yeah. We'll make some dark and darker. Welcome, Augusto.
Welcome.
And good
Hi there,
morning,
Jack.
Jack Raiden.
Hello. I'm playing with Dazzy. He's the kobold.
Hi. Yee. Kobold king.
He's got his like little crown on his right horn there.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. I actually got. Have you played Deep Rock Galactic before, Grant?
Yes, I have. I've not done anything more into it, unfortunately.
So there's a kobold mod for model and voice acting, and they actually added in my crown and ear or horn piercings recently.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I was in the middle of a yawn.
You're fine.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I play Date Rock Director would be a nice stream. I've seen Daz and like Alexi play Deep Rock Galactic and such, and it's like going into games like Wolk as well. Oh, going into those games, it's like I feel like I'd have a lot more fun when it's like with a group of people, or until I like get good with it, like with Payday 2, where it's like the first 10 hours of Payday 2 is not fun solo. Like trying to learn things. So.
Okay, I'll take point. Hold on, skeleton right away.
Yep. All right. It's a red one.
Popped it.
All right.
It's got a fucking axe.
All right. So.
I'm blocked it.
Yep.
Don't die. Use your kit if you need to.
Oh, geez. All right.
Holy shit.
Oh, but purple.
Ooh, purple what?
Purple armlet thing. So.
Well, give me your old gloves then. I ain't got shit.
No. Armlet. So I can give you
helmet.
the leather cap.
I don't have anything. I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the hyper himbo, Augustus. It was very helpful to deal with this skeleton axeman. All right.
That was fucking stupid, whatever that was.
There's another guy over here, and he looks like he has a Zweihander.
You take your time with that one. I'm gonna just regenerate a little bit here, but I'll be right there soon enough.
All right.
And he's angered.
Oh, he does like a wide ass.
Run away. Run to the door if you need to. Don't die.
I died. I love how you said "don't die" and it's like I died.
Oh, I could just. Oh no, Grant.
It's okay. Just grab my helmet,
Green
please.
Sword. Yeah, I'm gonna take all the stuff you have that's valuable and.
I don't remember that sword.
Oh, I found another green sword. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this
Everything
one.
else is gray and stuff. I'll take your bandages, your kit.
And then there should be a kit in there. Sounds like there's other people in this
Somebody
dungeon.
else is fighting in here.
Yeah. That's new. I didn't get to open
Note
it.
to self,
Yeah.
it sucks here.
Note to self, there's powerful skeletons here.
Okay, got a better chest piece.
Cool. Now you just need a...
Healing potions.
is that a guy with a crossbow? Yeah, that's a skeleton with a crossbow.
Are you serious with this shit?
Yep. Look. So,
only fire once.
What do you... I feel like these guys would be easier to deal with than the Zweihanders and the axes. The Zweihanders and the axes, you can't sidestep.
Yeah, I don't know if you can set this one either, but I just... I mean, he shot me point blank. Close this real quick. Have some of the grape juice.
Have some big boy juice. It's good networking, so it would be a nice co-op to play with chat. Another one that is actually free on the Epic Game Store is Second Extinction. Oh yeah, the dinosaurs one.
Yeah, what else came out today? Today on Thursday.
They gave
More
us...
now.
Yeah, they gave us Dying Light as well.
Yeah, that was last week. It was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't play it, but like it's a good game. I've been told.
Hmm.
I can't tell if he's firing at me or someone else is fighting him.
Nah,
Shoot
he's
him
trying to
through
fight.
walls, quotas.
1, 2.
Fucking headshot me.
Ow.
Fuck. That was a one-shot KO.
That hurt. That
How
that
the
honestly hurt.
Fuck. Alright. Hey, we made it downstairs though.
Yeah, we made it downstairs.
How did we escape from it that one time? Like, we're just fucking around, just killing shit, getting loot. I'm just hanging out. I guess we got lucky and had all the zombies and the fucking... I don't know what. I'm ready though.
Alright, let's go.
I think I'm Dying Light because I already own it on Steam. If you like Dying Light, I would still try Dead Island 2 when it comes out. It's fun.
Having all the DLC at the start might make you lost a bit. Ah, that's a shame. I feel like
For
good
what,
DLC needs to be like it is in Borderlands, where it needs to be able to like sort of tone down when you can touch on it. So they need to be
You don't-
like
You don't mean like Tiny Tina's though, do you?
no.
I hate that DLC. Okay, good.
So
That angered me so much. I bought the collector's edition because I was like so hyped. The initial game was so fucking good. One of the best Borderlands, and then the DLC was like, they were having these 4 mirrors of mastery or madness, and I was like, oh, that's all one DLC. No. No, that was all 4
Alright.
DLCs for the year.
barrels.
Well, we're downstairs, so... Oh, that's... I see skeletons. Here we go. Mummies, we're fine.
I haven't yet.
We're fine. There's a res altar here, too. Good to know. We've been here a couple times.
Another one's resurrecting.
Yeah.
How did I get here? Oh, never mind.
How did I wind up?
Oh, this one's a heavier boy.
Oh, you know what's coming out really soon? The new Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, it's next month. And then in 2 weeks we got Jedi Survivor. Like my
Shit
like
is coming out left and right.
my plethora of like new things is just gonna be a bit intense, and I'm gonna have to try and figure out the timing, because as much as I would love to like just play them every day, I don't know if I can feasibly do that without, you know, just
Right.
like toning down on like, you know, the
Yeah,
quality of the
seriously.
stream itself. So,
There's some
'cause
good chest armor here.
ooh, okay, yes please.
Oh, if you don't know, these guys crouch and you break them for loot.
What?
What are you doing, Brad?
You said crouch.
For the crouching guys, you can kill them.
Oh, I thought you said you crouched on them.
Fair enough.
I thought you were talking about like crouching on them as if it was like a weird physics bug.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Alright, so there's
But
the
yeah,
exit
no, you
there.
can just break them, that's all.
And then downstairs is on the other side
Your
of this
chest is
wall, no
over
doubt.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thing is, I think we're in the middle of the map, though, so that's why we get so much PvP here. There's an armet here if you want it.
Okay. Yes, please. Donk.
Well, that was you.
Yeah, I just decide to be like sprint because it's like I can use it as many times as I want and it's like 20-second cooldown.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh, skeleton archer. Gonna blast him.
Alright, you do your blast. I'm just able to like side skirt him like no probs. That's what I thought you were gonna do with the I thought that's what you were gonna try and do with the crossbow guy. Is just, you know, try and get into an area where you can then just run around him.
Well, the thing about the bow is when you pull back the bow, it has an animation of firing. The crossbow's automatic. Not automatic, but it's instant. Which is why it's easier to sidestep.
Blue battle axe. We'll give this a try.
Grant looking geared already, not bad.
Yeah. No improvements on that helmet. So that's where the portcullis is. Oh, and then there's a... How did we miss this chest here? The large oak chest.
I saw it originally. I just want to kill the mobs first. You always gotta kill the mobs before you do anything.
Alright,
Always
double
secure.
axe, magic staff, and just the adventurer's tunic. Alright, so useless stuff.
Oh, I'll grab that staff if it's still there.
Yeah, it's just a dark gray, however. 22 weapon damage, negative 20 movement. So it's not like a strong one.
Better.
Alright, break this. If it will. There we go. Buckler. Oh, why am I... There we go. Cloth. No, nothing worthwhile there.
We do have a shrine here, which is protection, which is good.
Yep.
Double bubble you. Triple if you have the potion as well. You know what I love fighting on chest? 30 arrows. Is that you breaking shit right now?
That was me breaking shit. I just went back to the floor below because it looks like we also missed a ruby. There we go.
Fair. This
Kyle's
Kyle's killed 2 people. I gotta keep an eye on that.
Yeah. +1 strength, +1 knowledge. Is that you breaking something?
Yep, I'm popping barrels right now. I'm trying to.
Alright.
Glitch is happening, I think.
Yeah.
I hate that glitch.
I'm gonna open this door.
I'd be very careful, but I'm behind you.
Oh. Hello.
And the door's being closed.
Goodbye.
Grant.
Yeah,
Grant.
I see him. And he's activating zombies.
I'm dead. I'm dead. There's a second one.
I didn't realize there was a second fella.
I'm not dead.
Oh.
Go downstairs. Let's go downstairs.
Oh, you can go downstairs now?
Shit! No. I mean, like, there's the downstairs.
Oh, the physical downstairs. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. That
I
can't
was
be.
so-
Okay, it's like 3 teams. I think. Let me look. Yeah, it's multiple teams. You know what I hate with this game sometimes, though, legitimately?
What do you
lack of self-preservation sometimes.
What do you mean the lack of self-preservation?
The amount of times I've been killed by a rogue who then immediately dies anyway. because they go all in and they're not gonna win and they're not gonna live. They just go all in anyway.
I think
That's
it's
just sit
just
here like,
well, that's I think that's just like that just feels like, you know, a circumstance of how they want to make this like sort of hard PvP where it's like you will lose everything if you die. So it's like risking it for the biscuit is all it is to it.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's all about risking it for the biscuit, but like,
so
it's like they don't see any risk reward. They just go risk.
I think what they need to try and do is maybe try and do like an Among Us party match thing where it's like you can go into like better loot earlier with like, you know, the PvE is not that hard, but you run into the issue of, oh, someone, if you're not in good communications with them, they get like a little, oh, if you can take on enemies, you get an XP boost, which, you know, XP means nothing to friends or what have you, but XP boost would probably mean a lot to, you know, a random who got into the team. But that obviously means you have to be able to...
Only for the beginning, for now. Until we get the skill points.
So, but yeah, but it's like, otherwise you need to do like party matchmaking. And I think that's what needs to change, is that, you know, they need to introduce like a party matchmaking like at load-in, not during like, you know, before you even get into these matches where it's like, oh, you're nitpicking, you're looking around and seeing who the level 20 peeps are. It's like, no, you will just get matched up like Fortnite. They need to do something like that, because then otherwise you're just gonna deal with, you know.
I wouldn't mind that as a mode, but I don't want that as a default. I would not want to just get random people. Like, not all the time, at least.
Okay, maybe not all the time, but I feel like they need to make that as like that you need to opt out from getting, you know, Party Finder is what they need to do. Oh, we missed out on this chest right here. Oh, bolts, never mind. Fucking useless.
Crossbowman. It's fired? Yep, got me right in the head.
Is he just gonna get you with headshots? Is that his, like, bit?
I suppose so. Yeah, the crossbow is instant. There's no wind up. Don't die. Get back to me too.
Yeah. There we go. Recurve bow, useless. This chest. Let's see. Sure. Rugged boots sounds good. Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yep.
What did the other skeleton have?
Oh, I didn't loot him yet. I'll still you.
Just bolts. Absolutely useless.
Yeah. Good shield down.
Cool. Barrel?
Skeleton to your right.
I don't see him.
Over here. He's aiming at you.
Ow. Oh! Now I see him. Never. Fuck it. You gave me a longbow. I'll sell you. 5 and 7. 7, 10, and 5. Nope, not worth.
What's in there?
Just some, like, fast boots.
Oh, boots.
Okay. Alright, going upstairs.
Yeah, it's easier to defend up here. Way easier.
Alrighty, I'm going... Oh, hang on.
Toss you heal real quick.
Thank you.
And a shield.
Oh,
and
shield?
we bless you while I'm at it too. Hold on. You fight him. You're right.
Alright.
You keep dodging my blesses.
Who does? Me?
You do. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm busy juking them because they're doing the arrow thing. You gotta do the COD rules of if you're not in their line of fire, either keep moving so they're not. So
It gives you 3 agility and 3 strength and 3 H, or 3 all stats really. It like gives you like a bunch more speed, like 10% more.
I was still doing well. Thank you for the thingy. Alright, well the good news is we're near like one of those floors. So wait, is there anything special about these particular barrels other than the fact that they're just worn down? rugged and light, and then there's a torch.
I'll take the light.
Alright.
Just a little bit more. I don't even use my torch, I just toss it.
I like using torches, though. Chest down here. There we go. Lightfoot boots again. Keep them.
If we want to just go down, I can pop, we can just sit here for a bit.
Well, where's the down thingy? Isn't it on the other side?
Oh, it's right behind us. We have to just go around the staircase, that's all.
Yeah, again, but like around is like you have to go all the way out and around.
Yeah.
We can still break barrels.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just getting my mana back and my health back.
Okay.
So I can get full.
Well, I'm gonna do this.
And you can also full heal if you need to as well.
Metal helmet. I'll put that on. And the portal is just... Hang on, just here. Has it opened? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Alright, normally there's
So,
a...
I'm gonna go grab some loot.
Oh, we've already opened this chest, apparently. Or someone else has.
Oh, I aggroed a skeleton. Or you did. Something happened somewhere.
Something happened somewhere, yeah. Bronze ornate. Just gonna open this for a bit.
For fun.
How long do you think we need to wait?
A bit. Honestly, a bit.
Is it like, when is like 2 minutes remaining, the portal will open kind of thing?
It might be. I don't know the
'Cause I
exact
wasn't-
time. Sometimes it's a bit quick, some slower, so. What I do know is I think I can just keep us alive.
Well, this is gonna be an interesting way to die, just waiting for the door to open.
It's fine. I got my heals back ready.
Alright,
Once at half HP, I'll pop another sanctuary on us.
alright.
Which should be fun to climb down. Okay, I'm gonna start casting now.
Alright.
I could almost cast another time as well.
We'll space it out.
You see now why Cleric is so fun to play in the Scarab Storm.
I feel like it's a bit teasy. Like you're able to like just sort of hide in this quote unquote storm. I don't know why. Like seeing it in any of these battle royales where it's like, oh, you can just like hide out in the storm and take the small hits rather than take the big hits. It's like every time I see it, I'm just sort of like, oh, this feels like, you know, tomfoolery.
Nah, just koboldry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And I have my main heals back up too, by the way. No, he'll come back. Don't worry. Look him up. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Told you.
Sprint. Meow. There we go.
Might as well heal us up before I actually start doing the heal
Aye.
nap.
Alright. Leather cap. And then clarity potion
You got leather caps and
recharges.
stuff?
I got a leather cap if you want it.
Not now because it'll get deleted, but yeah. Not now.
Next
though.
floor opens in 45 seconds.
I'll take the clarity potion as well because I don't think you have spells, right? Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's basically just a regen potion for your spells.
Because what I got is adrenaline rush and sprint.
Yeah.
So.
But how goes it, Yoshi?
Hi there, Code. calling us a wizard. I like this new loading screen. I have not seen this before of the ranger just like pilfering a man's of his goods.
Hello.
Oh yeah. I had a different load screen. I said, "What ranger? Yeah, he's just stealing his shoes."
Yep. What do you got? What does it look like for you?
The fighter coming up. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, this is fucked.
Oh, we're right next to something big about to happen.
We're in the cathedral.
All right, sounds like a problem.
Yeah. Take that hat and potion now.
All right. Hat dropped. Potion dropped.
The campfire is good. Plus side is no one will gank us here.
Woo! There wasn't much for us to have.
Protection's pretty good though. That's really good actually.
Yeah, I'll take the protection. And then...
Okay, so if this works the same way, there's a skeleton wizard on our left, so we're gonna, or right even, we're gonna go left up the staircase here ahead of us, the hallway. I'll go first. Be quick. We're gonna go up to top first before grabbing any loot. Just
Alright.
secure the area. Skeleton right there. Pop him.
He's got the Zweihander. He does like a long swing.
If he looks at you at all, run away. Run.
There's a crossbow fella over there. Give me a sec.
We should be fine for now.
Alright. 4, here we go. Drink the potion.
Will he fuck you up as well? Where's the crossbow guy?
To the right.
God, trying to keep up.
Oh, he's in the roots. It's a really annoying sort of... There we go. Got him.
You lost your shield? Alright, you're good.
That wasn't so hard.
Drink my potion to get my stuff back. The red shrine is protection as well, which is another shield. So,
Yep.
grab that and go down at all.
Yep, I'm gonna grab it. Thank you for hitting the nut button code.
Nothing but nut.
All
right, so our best bet is to go out of the cathedral. We can fight the shit here for good loot. However, I don't want to be like with our gear. I don't want to be like called off. So I would be very careful.
Yeah, fair. All right. Hatchet.
Oh, to the right.
Ooh.
Nice. To the right of the door, 2 skeletons in front of the door.
Oh, so this door.
Right here, this one.
All right, hang on. There's barrels. Thank you for the raid, Danny. Welcome to the stream. I'm playing with Dazzy, the kobold.
Hi.
He's cute. He's small.
Nice. I'm in terror.
Oh, have you ever seen that like animation of like the little creature or whatever like that, like kicking their feet forward or something like that, and there's like normally music playing, and then they just start doing like this breakdance routine. Have you ever seen? I'm describing it poorly, but all right. So 2 skeletons we got to worry about.
There should be. Let me just buff you before the big thing. Hold on.
All right.
Take a peek. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'll give you 3 buffs. All right.
All right. So.
Let me just. Okay. There you go. 1 second. Both of them. You got bless.
1.
Here's a shield.
2.
And divine strike. Here we go. Fuck him up. I'll get the one on the left. You get the one on the right. I'll just aggro now. Never mind. The right's not aggroed yet. Run. You're almost dead. Run away. I can out-res you if you die. Run. Alright, there we go. Hop in a sentry on us real quick. I'll get the skeleton in the back.
Let me just, you know.
Yep, sit down too if you can.
Oh, I accidentally pressed Q instead of what I wanted.
Whew, still alive.
Yeah.
Hey, 25 gold.
Just a short stream. Need to stream. Not to worry, Danny. It's okay if you'd like to sleep. I very much like the sleeps as well. I'm a Zeebs that likes the sleeps.
All right, there's another skeleton. I'm gonna aggro him real quick. There's some loot in here.
All right. What kind of skeleton?
Axe boy.
Oh, not
I
that
blessed him.
pain. Not that
Yep,
pain.
back him up.
Like,
He's on me.
Oh, I didn't even hit anything. Now he's on to me.
Yep, jump over the staircase and you just get like that. Don't die for it.
Yep.
I got blessing, don't die for it.
There we go.
Oh,
Hold on to that.
Alright, and here's safe enough. I'm dropping a campfire I got.
Alright. Gonna open this chest.
Yep, make sure it's not a mimic. Because we are
Nah.
fucked if it is.
Just it just has bolts. Oh, do you want a green leather cap?
Yes.
Alright, well there
Alright,
it is
sit
up
down,
there.
hurry. Hurry, sit down.
Cool. Oh, that's some very fast healing. That's cool.
Yep.
Neaties. So, in the previous alpha build, the first level is now, like, this second level, from the looks of it. And they've just changed the enemies.
Originally this level was called, I think, B1, so, or B2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was B1, that's why.
Oh, we're going?
Yeah, in a sec. Oh, yeah, it's gone already. Just grab it. And it's bolts. Alright, we need to go, south.
Yep. Cool. Making my way south.
For you.
That doesn't lead anywhere.
Some guys crouch
kinds-
down. There's one in the middle of the hallway, right in front of you. So you're right. Okay. hold
Yeah,
on.
I see him, I see him, I see him.
Oh, shit, you dodged it. Use the shrine to your behind you.
If
Blessing
I,
him. He's an axe man.
does he have, do you have his aggro?
Yep, I think it's white.
There we go.
Being shot from behind.
Oh, god damn
Dodge,
it.
stay alive. Healed you. Heal myself now. Can I come back and heal you again?
There we go. And I'm out of
Gotcha.
the locust. There we go.
I'm good.
Oh,
Pop a Century Tree right here. Right against the store right here.
I don't think there's anyone else. There's just a lot of escape portals
no.
opening up now.
Shit. We gotta go. Cut right,
Yep.
cut right, cut right.
Yep, cutting right. Escape
Oh,
portal
there's a player there. Yeah, there's a player there.
Yeah, but he's doing the escape portal. Like, I'm not gonna... Ah, damn it. I'm not gonna ruin his day.
Just go. Just go.
Alright, escape portal here. And I don't see any others, though. Oh,
Yep.
just further down. Gonna open up this one.
Okay. Go down a bit.
You good?
Debatably. Debatably, move anyway. And a player.
But yeah, oh! Up the stairs is another escape thingy-majiggy as well.
Any kind of healing potion, not really.
Oh, you have a lot of boots. Go up the stairs.
I'm dead. It's too late.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
No, it's too late.
Yeah,
No, it's too late.
sorry.
Nah, it's fine.
Because the minute you said that, I was just finally through the portal as well. So I'm sorry that I just like went like, you know, peace out.
Are you good? Not really. Oh, okay, bye. Well, thanks for asking anyway.
Yeah, not to worry. All right, well I can wear these. That's gray. But I have
Wait,
some.
why are you keeping hold of the Viking helmet?
Hello.
Oh yeah, the stash doesn't change between characters, does it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
if it's
do
like
that.
blue, you can keep hold of it because you can then sell it to players. If you don't, you can do that.
Yep. Well, would you like some laced turn shoes?
Sure.
So +2 additional
Yeah, so
physical
like
damage and
boots.
+1 true physical.
Oh. Yeah, I'll use them.
Awesome.
I was just the extra boots you have, you should probably store because you'll always want them back.
Yep.
Hi,
Alright,
Jason.
There we go. Hi, Jason. Welcome back. Hi there, Blue. I thought
Hi is
you'd be
back.
I thought you'd be sticking around in Kusaki's channel trying to get the stream racers thingy madiggy. All right. Not interested in ding dong ding bam. 37 gold for all. Oh yeah, and then this necklace. There we go. And then weaponsmith. Do you want this? Yes, they do. And Viking helmet. Ooh, I can actually... Oh, it's a secondary weapon. Oh, okay, that's why it's not, like, going into... But it's blue, though. I'm gonna still sell it.
What is?
This hatchet. It's a secondary weapon. One-handed axe.
Use it, though. You want to dual wield it?
Yeah.
The thing is,
get
if you sell it, you get like 7 gold. You just click it again, and that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so
yeah, it sells for 7 gold, but you get at least 50 from that, from the player. So.
Yeah. So yeah, so if I go like this...
Or store it. Yeah. I
Alright.
would store the axe for sure.
Alrighty.
Oh shit, he's got dual wield. Let's go. Dual wielding's weird, so yeah.
Hold on a second. I need to update a class, so that's Swift. I need to swap from combo to dual wielding so I get faster. That way it's like beneficial. I'll give it a try. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we do.
Dual wielding's very weird in the game, so I'll say use your axe over the other one. What's the damage in the two comparatively?
I can't look right now, but I know it's a blue. I know it's better, and so.
I'm doing well, Jason. Thank you for asking, buddy.
Yeah. How's it going on your
Tired
side,
up.
Jason? Did you and Co just have dinner done? It's like, what time is it? Oh, it's 9:25. This will have to be our last run.
Oh, it's fine.
You won't mind. It's like what, 4 a.m. in the morning for you? The sooner the better.
Maybe 6:25. I'm up for another 30 minutes before I have to crash.
Oh my god. How do you do this? Is this like your full-time thing?
Yeah. I stream 11 hours a week. Or 11 hours a day, 8 or 7. I can't even word right now. 6 days a week. Do you think I work on top of this? Fuck that. Not a chance.
I thought you were. Doggo. I
work on my
thought
stream,
you
that's about
were. Because like I do because I'm only doing like, 4 days of a week tops. Oh, hang on. Can I inspect?
No, not here. Do not drop it here.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Some fucking rogue will be stealth and will just grab it immediately.
Would be funny. Wait, do I have any
Happened
plebeian?
before.
All right, hang on a second. I'm gonna drop a torch right in front of this rogue, and we're gonna see whether or not he picks it up.
I
Like,
think he's AFK.
aw.
Beat his ass! But yeah, just the other day.
Oh,
we had a
actually,
24-hour
where's
stream
the-
For a year. It was fun. What's up?
I was gonna double check about the dummies, see what the damage is like.
Yeah.
All right, so 30 on the first hit, 36, 38.
I'm watching it now.
36, 38, and 40, 30, 31, 37.
Yeah, so the axe is better.
Yeah, so much better.
Honestly, the shoes might be better for you too, the turn shoes. They're damage. If you're not using a shield, then you don't really need armor. If you're going for like pure damage.
9, 5, and 3, 21.
Because it's additional physical damage plus true physical damage, so if you try them out real quick.
40, 42, and 43. 33, 35, and 40. Yeah. That's pretty decent.
Oh yeah. Well, Matt, you gotta remember this. Base HP is 100 or less, unless you're a... Either you have gear 4 HP or you have, Barbarian.
Wait, is
So the
there a-
fact is, we only have 6 people in a room. Oh, servers might have gotten down. In which case we get an early win or a free win.
Why do we get a free win?
6 players and odds are they're not gonna fuck around and find out there's only 6 of us.
Mm-hmm. That'd be good. Time to update Kethis again. Stop upgrading your MTG. Dazzy, have you ever played MTG? Magic the Gathering.
MTG?
MTG.
Oh, MTG. No, like Yu-Gi-Oh more. But now it sucks, so.
You played the more degenerate card game.
It wasn't at the start. It was a lot simpler.
It was always degenerate. It was the weeb game. Yu-Gi-Oh was like your
Magic's also kind of a weeb game. Let's be
Magic.
real.
Magic is not also kind of a weeb game, okay? Like Yu-Gi-Oh, like even their card size is called Japanese card size. It is weeb as F. Blue, you can come into the voice chat and like support me on this one. Yu-Gi-Oh is the weeb card game.
Did you say deport you on this one?
No, support me.
Oh, I was supposed to say, what the? Wait, what?
Yeah, he can't deport me. I'm an Australian citizen. He has no power over me. I have more privilege than him as an American, Canadian, English, Australian.
Right.
Oh,
You're
wolves.
in charge of the wolves. That's fine. You're in charge.
All
of
right,
them.
so I just need
size
to.
them. Just turn around them. Yeah, just keep turning.
Really? You want to summon me?
Yes. Yu-Gi-Oh is just a weeb card game, right?
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. It's actually a more weeb game than that.
I don't believe you, but go on.
Okay, for those who most likely you wouldn't know, it's called White Schwartz.
Never heard of it.
Is that the one with the waifu tanks or something?
White Schwartz is pretty much a card game where you play with cards from various series, especially in Japan. A lot of it's just anime and all this other stuff. Like, you can verse... What is it? Let me give you an example. You can verse a Love Live deck with a Kantai Collection deck.
Which means...
That sounds dumb. That makes no sense. Oh, why Schwartz?
Ignore the naming convention because... Yeah, ignore the naming convention because they abandoned that mechanic a long time ago. Yeah, and there's other things like you can have Fate's Day Night versus, I don't know, Fairy Tail or something. A lot of the times people are playing weird waifu decks.
I'm gonna fight for that cup, Grant. It's mine.
Nah, it's mine.
I grabbed it though.
Aw. Alright, watch this nonsense. Damn it.
Grant, I'm a kobold.
Oh.
Well, good morning, Furry Cubes.
Good morning. Alright, damn it, Blue. But yeah, how is your Kethis deck then? What's the new upgrade? More Phyrexian shit?
Just we get around here. I'm gonna try to. You don't have to remember that.
I'm gonna be adding Rana and Limbala.
There's 3 things behind you. All of them are angry.
All of them are angry was a good statement.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I might have accidentally just blasted you just square. Defy judgment.
Well, pick up my hatchet.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna resurrect you. I can.
Okay, thank you. Because that axe, oh my goodness, I was like just going 1, 2, 3 on the archer, and it was like just done. So glorious. But yeah, how many Phyrexian focus decks do you have now, Blue?
Only 2.
Only... How many decks do you have?
27.
How do you find the brain power to come up with so many and have so many?
I just look at any interesting legendary creature and see if I can make a deck out of it or not. I also try to avoid playing what a lot of people are playing.
Because I have a hard enough time trying to deal with my 1. Skeleton.
Alright, Greg, I got your axe and your boots. I'm just thinking resurrect you in a bit.
Cool. Wait, how are you gonna resurrect me? You don't have my soul.
You're right, I forgot your soul.
I was like I was so confused. I was like, what are you doing? There we go. So yeah.
Alright.
There we go. Now I'm alive. Have you played this before, Blue?
Nope.
What are your
Very fun game.
It's a very fun game.
Better likes this game though.
Oh, okay, that's good. How have you not been like pulled into playing like new indie games? I've seen like you've been going into all the classics like Ape Escape and Banjo and Kazooie.
I'll tell you this, I have too many games on my backlog.
Is your backlog just the entirety of the PlayStation 2 lineup?
No, I actually still need to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I got to play through the rest of SMT3 Nocturne. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh yeah, No More Heroes 3. And the list goes on.
But those are all brand new games. Why are you playing old ones?
Old ones are for when I stream.
Ah, okay, okay.
I'm behind on my backlog for new games.
And here all the older ones were ancient beings of eldritch horrors.
Yes, for the Dazzies and the Bones of the world. Okay, you did get my soul. I was just double checking. All right, so how are you doing the resurrection?
Here.
Yes.
Try for that underground area. You still have your weapon and shoes, by the way. But...
Yeah. Well, that's just the 1 axe as well, so hopefully the primary will pop up somewhere in the second thingy. So, I think the portal will open on, like, the 2-minute mark or later, because it's normal.
Well, we got a couple portals that spawned, and 2 people have died. There's only 6 of us. That's a wraith, fuck you.
Sounds like more... Oh, portals. It's okay if you, like, want to go for, like, a portal escape instead. That might be more beneficial, and then we just, like, circle back later on.
If you want, I can go one more round. If you gotta go, there, you gotta go.
No.
I'll put your stuff in a chest if I have to.
Yeah, because it's 9:30. I'm going to be awake tomorrow for the American audience.
Let me get Grant's art. Delicious. I have it now. What? Sorry, Grant. Yeah, I'll put it in my stash and remind me tomorrow when I give it to you.
Sorry. Thank you. Alright, return to lobby. I just love how, like, first thing I see is just death. Alrighty.
I'm so sorry I blasted you, by the way.
No, it's okay. I didn't know what was going on, and what's more is, like, I did it in a... Like, I was definitely not in a... Hang on, there's no music in the background for chat. I was doing it in a... I was in a very barbarian fashion, despite the fact I am not playing a barbarian, and I should stop with that shenanigans.
Well, if I have any advice for you for this game, always try to be cautious, and if you see an enemy, or if you know that there's other enemies around, try to pull them out. And if you don't know if there's enemies around, still pull them out.
Yeah.
Just always
okay.
that.
Yep. Yep.
Because if we aggroed and pulled him out, then he would just died. Anyway, you love using Grant's chat. Take it easy. Grant, thank you for reminding me, buddy. It was a pleasure to have. Be with you.
Not to worry. All right, if you're fine with sticking around for a little bit longer, I want to go and raid into Sashera since she was in the stream earlier, and I think it would be fun with the few people we got. If I can spell her name. There we go. I can spell partially. And get them into raiding as they go into Stardew Valley. Do you have any good ideas for a raid message for them?
You can either steal her galaxy cookies or call her a Stimkey Fox. They should consider her skin a little bit.
Zebra, herd, there's a Stimkey Fox.
Or use the word morbid, that actually aggravates it. I know a lot of ways to activate Sash, actually. Be careful.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Grant heard Zebra heard there's a stim key fox we're gonna go for, and if you have the emotes, then you're more than welcome for using them. So yeah,
Do I? Let me see.
hopefully so.
I
Furry Cures tries, isn't subscribed, doesn't work for them. Do follower emotes like go working in other people's channels still, or do you need to be a subscriber?
No,
You
just
need to be
follow
sub.
work.
Sorry, I heard two different messages.
Sure.
What?
If you're a follower of said channel already, you can use it in their channel, but if you're using it outside, you have to be subbed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, other than that, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. I will be back online tomorrow morning as a backlog day. And I forgot to send shoutouts to Blue and Dazzy, but I hope I'll see you. Oh, never mind. We're raiding.